I know I probably won't get nobody up here because your ass is probably asleep. That's why. Boom! Gotta love that Stan Henson, baby. You know, I'm gonna just show a little bit of making good, you know. Who we got up here tonight? I know somebody gonna see me up here tonight. Candy Graham from Mongo, you damn right. Woo! Smoking and joking, baby. What up, though? What's up, Namer? Hey, Namer, I got something to show you. Let me know who's in the building. Shit. We gotta do it right.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
My Madden skills are awesome. You wish they were lacking. Trust me, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass so deep in Madden again that the water on my knee will quench your motherfucking thirst. What up with you though, Art? Hey Art, I got one more for you that you're gonna laugh. But it's nostalgia, baby. Here we go.
By the power of Grayskull.
Oh yeah. Fabulous secrets were revealed to me. Oh shit. What y'all doing tonight, man? What y'all doing tonight? What's up, Shadow Star? By the power of fucking Grayskull, baby. With the brioche. This nigga dealing in brioche and shit. We got the snowman and we got the dough man. I ever thought about re-enlisting and becoming a drill sergeant? Oh, I would be considered too old because of being 40. But then again, I would get a waiver because I'm a vet, so I'll probably get a waiver. They probably need us that badly. Chilling, running them eBay streets and them Amazons, I see. Hey. I know how that feels. Shit, you gotta make a buck every way you can. Say what's up to everybody, young Padawan.
What's going on?
Yeah. Going through some trials and tribulations. But guess what? We'll all be better because of it. You know, I gotta do some Thundercats. Thundercats. Find me a hoe. I mean, it's kind of crazy because one thing I try to tell the young Padawan when he was telling me about his woes, we all got them. You live long enough, shit, there's more coming. You just got to have enough time and patience to overpower that shit. Because if you don't, you'll just become a victim of circumstance in the streets. What you fellas think? And besides, if I was a drill sergeant, let me put it to you this way, Namer. I'm going to do something like that, but I'm going to get paid handsomely for it. And I'm going to train young black men to train younger black men to do it. Why not? Shout out to Mr. Mike White. With a shape up, see? Motherfucker blessed me with the sword of omens. Ah, good morning. My man told you, my man Shatterstar told you, a salute to the young Padawan. May he listen to the elders. I'm going to tell you, it's been hard. You know, go through so much tragic loss in such a short time. Namer said, "What's up? What's going on, young man? Are you paying your dues like you're supposed to? Otherwise, you'll be paying them in the further down the road with high interest, which is fucking true. Mm. Pay your dues now, and live to talk about it later. Go through your training. Go through your intelligence, man. What's the question, man? Gotta have a good one. Make it a good question.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
I ain't gonna lie, that was the hypest fucking part of season 1 of My Hero Academia. I was like, yo, this nigga just knocked the shit out of him. They did him with the dirties with the Team Rocket. We blasting off again. Go beyond. Us Ultra, baby. Come on, Shatter. When we gonna have them shirts due by? Gonna make some money. We're gonna network the way we should in this damn space. No egos. That's another shirt idea. No ego, only success. God damn it. Matt Tate said, it's keeping me up. Got a call from a female friend of mine. She's a millionaire living off of cap gains. Authentic woman. I'm 37. She's 38. No legal ties to children. To a child. I have no kids. What to do? Well, does that woman respect you as a man, regardless of her money? Can that woman put you in positions of power or next to positions of power? If she can build you up into a powerful spot, you lock that down. If she just sees you as dick and bubblegum, even still, you get something out of it before it ends. If she's a wife, ego hurt black. Yes, it does. I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. You should be dealing with women that could put you up in positions of power and help build business, help build infrastructure, help build legacy. If she's not down with that, then if you just dick and bubblegum, even your dick costs. Every orgasm, it better be something to a trust fund. You heard? Art, you're right. Ego hurts black men, don't it, Padawan? We were talking about earlier, not going to go into specifics, about how young men out here get pressured. They want to help their peoples. We all get pressured. See, being a young black man out here, you're not allowed to be a child. You're not allowed to find yourself. We don't get that shit that Asian men and white boys get. When we got problems, even at a young age, we're looked at as problem solvers. But nobody ever tell us that you may fail trying to solve that problem. you may have to wait to become greater. Nobody ever tells us this shit. I mean, hey, if she's down with you when she love you for you, I don't have a problem with it. Because guess what? You could be with a broke ass chick who can't and who'll take money from you and siphon it away like she's Omega Red or some shit with her tentacles wrapped around you. Nino, everybody's favorite designer slash correctional officer. If she can't show you how to make or save $1, then she ain't worth spending $1. That's facts. I'm gonna tell you what the fucking pimp game told me. If she offers no assistance, you give her nothing but your resistance and then your distance. Right, Padawan? Black men have stronger shoulders than Ronnie Coleman. Goddamn right. See, a lot of people don't even know the esoteric knowledge of fucking My Hero Academia. See, All Might was the father figure to Deku, even when he lost his great power. And trust me, he had immense power. The motherfucker punches could make hurricane wind forces. And he just dedicated his time into the next generation. I want everybody for their homework assignment to look at My Hero Academia and watch how he grooms this guy to be his better. Not just his successor, but his better. If we can't do that, what's up, PK? If we can't do that, what the fuck are we doing it for? I'm invited to one of my wrestlers' weddings. Damn it. God, reflex is still good. But a lot of people don't understand that shit. Notice on this channel, we don't talk about educated lame. We don't talk about Pookie and Ray Ray. We talk about being what? A multifaceted man. It's okay for you to like anime. It's okay for you to drive trucks. It's okay for you to like music. It's okay for you to dress in suits. It's okay for you to dress in Adidas sweats, which I'm dressed in currently right now. It's okay to be intellectually sound. That doesn't make you less of a man. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of shit, man. We don't look at our differences. We respect our differences, but praise our similarities. Because last time I checked, a black man is a black man is a black man. Right, Padawan? Nigga not even listening anymore. I don't give a shit. I've been a cop for years. I'm going through EMT fucking classes in school, paramedic school. I'm trying to patch you up just as well as I could take you apart. I'm investing into myself now, which a lot of young men should do it. It's okay not to dress as a fairy. Hey, if you like to dress as a fairy, that's okay. That's okay. Just keep me out of it, rainbow dancer. See, the problem with a lot of niggas, man, is that they use the littlest bullshit that women and other races of men try to categorize us as. See, when we dress up as anime characters or superheroes, we do it with a fucking flair. And that means Rick, baby. Wordplay. You like that, don't you? See, the craziest part about it is when I go to BlurCon, I'm going to probably have me, no, not probably, I'm going to find me some slick ass costumes to wear. Still smoking, still joking, shit talking, and dirty walking, baby. to be the man. Wait a minute. Everybody in the chat now. Woo! See, the problem is, in our community, we fear being the man. We fear having to beat the man. See, one thing I felt blessed about being a wrestler is that I had to overcome not only myself, but the next man. The biggest battle was not that other guy. It was not the referee. It's could I beat myself? Oh yeah, BlurCon, come down. I want Toya and I want Toya to come through. I want everybody to come through BlurCon. Black anime, black comic books. We do a meet and drink. We already greeting because we drinking. And trust me, and just for all you, it's 420 friendly too, by the way. It's very 420 friendly. Good God Almighty, man! There were some niggas who were Superman high. God damn, they were giving high fives to Captain Kirk. They were so high. Woo! We got the lovely Toya in the building. Hey, girl. I'm gonna tell you, we gotta have fun. Look, dude, just because you masturbate with banana cream don't mean you gotta put that shit on everybody else. All right? We already know Art of Itmore beats his dick like a UFC fight, 5 rounds for the UFC championship type nigga. Every time I play Art, I'm gonna play this shit. Oh yeah, by the way, they should have never gave us videos.
By the power of Grayskull.
Oh, they should have never gave a nigga videos. Oh man. Oh, you gotta come, Nino. I know you on the other side of the planet and shit, but you gotta come to BlurCon too. We gotta set you up a booth for black fashion because a lot of people would love your fashion sense. Did we lose the Super Bowl? Nah. The Ravens are 2-0 when we go to the Super Bowl. Nah, we 2-0. We don't know what that feels like. But we go to a Super Bowl, we taking names and heads like the Highlander. All right? Okay? We doing this shit to people, man. We Duncan McLeod and the motherfucking Clan McLeod, baby. We like this. Hey, if somebody's on their computer, please put in the dates for BlurCon, and it's blurcon.com. Get your rooms now because they will be packed. I'm just having fun with this shit. I needed a laugh and a smile after all the 2 weeks I had, man.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
I always said, like, every time I watch anime, I'm like, why are you fighting a nigga who's smoke coming off his fucking fist? That means he's throwing a fist so fucking fast and hard that he's fucking burning the oxygen around him. Like, nigga, this nigga got a hypersonic fist. Do you really want to fight this nigga? Oh no. Yep, there we go, BlurCon. Woo! Even though my brother's birthday is the 7th, don't ask what's in the cup. Drink of choice. I had to tell ladies, guess what? What does that taste like? It tastes like a kiss from me. That's some smooth shit, isn't it, Padawan? You know that's your new nickname, right?
Huh?
You know that's your new nickname, right?
What?
Padawan.
Padawan.
Yeah. We're gonna get Nino. We might even get Namer's ass to come out there. You know, 00 Negro and shit. Gotta do it with the pinkies up. Oh yeah, Snowman is hilarious, dude. God bless him, his wife, man. They are some great people. They're some great people, man. I guess we gonna put the link in the chat, you know. You know, be nice to actually have to meet some of y'all in person. Y'all probably meet me, and I'm built like a fucking caveman, 5'10", 280 pounds and shit. Bob Blaricon, my 14-year-old son, would probably be taller than me. You know, he got an uncle on his mom's side who's like 6'6", and the other uncle's 6'2", and his grandmother's like probably about 6 foot. Fucking goddamn fucking Nephilims and shit. See, that's how you know I read the Bible a lot when I was younger. I know what a Nephilim is. You know, it's funny. To Leon and to Aunt Trisha, love you both. And to Aunt Trisha, the best shit talker and one of the hardest working women I know. To Leon, that motherfucker actually did all the core things. He was a friend, a soldier, and a brother. He exemplified my brother, my champion, my savior. Woo! Drink up.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you, brother. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on, Shed? How you
doing?
Oh, first and foremost, Charles, my condolences on Leon, or as we say in my mother tongue, Tanat Habka, which means may you find closure. May he rest in peace.
No, thank you, man. And trust me, he's you know what's funny about it? Before he passed, when he went for his procedure, when he was going for the CAT scan, and he had the iodine or whatever fucking ink shit they put in him. You know, he called me to let me know, and he said, you know, I love you, brother. I'll let you know what's going on. And I said, I love you too, man. Just keep me posted.
Oh.
It's good to let people know that they love you.
That's right.
Like
bro.
my aunt,
it
was nice to be at the table with my father and my aunt, who was the first one generation of veterans, myself the second generation, and my nephew who went back into active duty in Texas right now as we speak.
Salute.
3 generations of Faulkner. That salute to that Faulkner bloodline. It's strong. That Faulkner bloodline is stronger than kryptonite.
Damn. That's what's up. Hey, is the Padawan there?
The Padawan's here. What's up?
Hey, can you hear me there, Junior?
Rob.
Young man.
Rob. You hear him?
What?
He said, what's up?
What up?
What's going on?
What's going on? Listen, I want to tell you something. First of all, you a fan of Dave Chappelle, first of all?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you something. There's this piece of advice that his father gave him when he was 19 years old. Now, we were talking about paying dues and everything. Understand that whatever you do in this life, understand there's a cost to pay, there's a cost to it. There's sacrifices got to be made. It's just like James Brown used to say, paid the cost to be the boss, right? Now understand, William Chappelle, that was Dave Chappelle's late father, God rest his soul, he told him, always name your price in the beginning. And if things get more expensive than the price you name, get out. In other words, you got to decide right then and there, what you're gonna, what are you willing to sacrifice to get where you need to be. And if they ask you more than you're willing to sacrifice, that's when you got to walk away. You understand?
Right.
All right. I mean, I've seen too many people get trapped in situations where they wanted to walk away, but they just couldn't because they just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Right. Something was like holding them too high, like, or so they set themselves up in a bad situation. There's a lot of people we were
talking about earlier, right?
Yeah. Hell, I mean, take a look at show business. Take a look at show business. There's a reason why they say give that fool the rope, because he's gonna set himself up to always big. Because once he digs himself into a deep hole, he's gonna ask for help, and that help is gonna come with a huge price tag.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's
like
got a
pay.
It can happen. It can happen in many places other than Hollywood as well. That same logic.
Anything in life.
We just got finished talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Certain prices you don't want to. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me, right?
Yeah.
I brought kids who were out there on the block heavy back to fruition, man. You'll never hear that. You'll never hear a school system. You'll never hear a police department, a mentorship program do the shit that I've done for black men. You'll never hear
Charles, you are the redeemer. You are the redeemer.
Yeah, but see, the reason why you ain't gonna hear it, brother, is because, see, our voices are by default silenced, at best muted. At best muted. You know what I mean? Mostly silenced.
Why do you think, Shatter and Namer, that when I build my security company, which I want to take young black men who can't find a job, I want to be like the old Army Catons, pick up your rifle and follow me.
That's right.
Shit.
Why do you think? You know what our motto going to be for my company? Say it loud and proud. Say it loud and proud, Shatter.
My brother, my champion, my savior.
Yep. One more time for the niggas in the back.
My brother, my champion, and my savior.
And just in case, Namer, for the people in Arabic and in Eritrea.
How do I say this in Intrigue? Yeah. Well, we don't really say something like that. We just say you are my brother's keeper. You are my brother, and that's it. We're one. Or we say we just say one. Or another thing we say back home in Eritrea, we say Hadilabi, or in Arabic, Galbana Wahidan, which means we are one heart, or as in one heart, one nation, one people.
And that means the same damn thing. Because you got to remember, think about it. How many people? And I want to ask everybody. I only got 12 people. I don't need 1 million. I'll stick with I'd rather have 12 lions than 1,000 sheep viewing me.
Good answer.
The sheep ain't gonna fight, man. The sheep ain't gonna fight, Charles.
I'd rather have 12 lions viewing me right now than fucking 1,000 sheep viewing me. I'm gonna say it. How many? And I'm not talking directly, but I'm gonna ask a very honest question. How many content creators would say my brother, my champion, my savior, and mean it?
Very few.
When have you even heard anything close to that?
Look, but see, now, in a perfect world, Charles, then you would say, we at least have 25%, we could say. But what you're saying is that we don't even have 1% in our space. We don't even have 1% of that, but we do. We are the 1% of that, right? Okay, we are, because we're saying that. You just spoke on it, and I'm with you on it. And I tell you this, most people won't, because they start to go, and that's what you said earlier. What you say? We don't talk about no Pookies and no Ray Rays over here. You feel me?
We
No.
talk
That's
about
another
what's up.
stereotypical way for men in our community to be demeaned in a stereotypical way. We get that from other races
Discrimination.
all the time. We don't need that in our. This is our space. If you claim to be in our space, but
Y'all
most of these
space.
people, like you said, you feel me?
Mhm.
They on some otherness, and you can see it. You can see it.
Mhm.
You feel me? And I say that on over here, you feel me? And I can say that with confidence. Anybody, even with a different opinion, I've seen you, man, over the years, a young brother come in and was on the wrong path. You change his whole aspect of understanding, and now he's a part of the crew, not a sheep.
Exactly.
Independent thought.
Think
You feel
about
me?
it. I don't look down upon a person's background. I grew up on Patterson Park, Orleans Street. I grew up in the hood. But my parents put me in private school, so I had the best of both worlds. I could survive anywhere, man. I could
Mm.
survive. I could survive in the Muslim countries. Matter of fact, the Nation of Islam, when they saw me in full uniform at the African American Festival, all the cops was wondering, the Nation of Islam 30 deep, and they shaking my hand, taking pictures with me. Because the Nation of Islam was one of the few people that supported me when I was fucking coaching wrestling.
That's what's up
Right.
right there. That's what's up.
I got
Charles,
people. Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, but you remember what I said, because I had to be the devil. I had to be the devil's advocate regarding that saying, "My brother, my savior, my champion." You know what the opposite is,
Mhm.
right?
Go ahead.
My
Tell
rival,
them what the
my rival, my adversary, my betrayer. Because
and
how
guess what?
many?
You do know that's going to be on the other T-shirts because,
It better
like I
be.
said, I'm gonna tell you why. Because for too long, black people, black men specifically, have not understand who's your opposer, who's
Or
That's
your
even
right.
opponent.
understand loyalty. Let's not
It's
forget.
not
Let's not
other
forget.
black
Yeah.
because you've been bamboozled.
I
You've
mean,
been bam.
I know what rivalry is. And I'm not just saying this because I come from the motherland. Because we have tribal affiliations. We know who our enemies are, who are our brethren, who are our rivals. You
Yeah,
guys are a hybrid mix. Let's not forget. You guys don't know where
That's
in
right.
the motherland you came from, unless you do the DNA. But even then, you guys
Some,
are a
some do,
hodgepodge
some
of,
do,
huh?
some do,
Yeah, like
some
I
do.
said,
I'm gonna tell you. No,
I've
you
done my
right, bro.
DNA.
No, you right,
I'm
you right.
I'm
But I'm gonna tell
I'm
you this here.
45% Nigerian. I have a
Look,
little
look.
bit
I,
of
but
East
what
African
tribe
in
you
me.
got? But what?
the only
Yeah, but
reason
what
I
tribe,
learned
brother?
my just a
Good
part
question.
of my father's side, Nemo,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
I'm saying like there's some validity what you're saying, but then also on the back end, what I'm trying to tell you, the only reason I learned it was
mhm.
because on my father's side, we knew because my grandfather was Ivory Coast and Senegalese, and then he went to
Ivorian.
South Africa, right? You feel me? So
Okay.
that's how I learned that, and then they migrated to Jamaica, and then that's how I got here
And
on the
that's
father's
the
side.
case
But
for the niggas who. That's the case for the niggas who say, but you niggas don't cam up. Shout out to Mr. Mike, one of the best barbers, if not the best barber in the state of Maryland. He may be expensive, but you see
She.
this, and if you look closely, he made the gray hairs in the front look so immaculate. I look so distinguished. Ooh, but God. But it's funny, right? It's funny
Charles Colson
because
Jr. is going to get endorsement from Just for Men. You'll see.
hey, no
no,
play
Emmitt
for
Smith
Mr.
already got that.
No play for
Emmett
Mr.
Smith,
Gray, except for this Gray. I'm
old
gonna tell
22.
you what. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's
All
even
right, all right,
funnier,
all
right?
right, all right, all right.
I'm gonna
I
tell you
mean,
what's
he.
even
I mean,
funnier.
if the brother could cut a rug and win with Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the Stars, all right, all right.
I'm gonna tell you
More
what's
power
even
to him.
funnier, right? Even when the young Padawan was worried about his mom, and I told him,
Mhm.
the one thing that you got is time. Your mom go through struggles, shit. I'm twice your age. You're 18, I'll be 40. I'm more than twice your age. Hell, I'm even older than your mother. I said time.
That time,
Time.
man. You, that
Time
time.
is the ultimate.
That's an asset.
Because
That's an asset.
it's an asset. When you learn how to be patient, which is a goddamn virtue,
Manage your time right.
you gotta look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the book of Boba Fett and you see Luke Skywalker, Grand Master Luke Skywalker, teaching, what's his name, Gover, or I forget how to pronounce his name, and he's teaching him, and he had to tell him the same thing. You listening?
Yeah.
Time for you is long. A short time for you is a long time for us. I want y'all to think about that. A short time for you is
Deep
a long
shit
time.
there. That's deep.
A short time for you is a long time for us. You got to think about it. And my first 40 years of life, because believe it or not, the Faulkner and the Bazemore clan, which is my mother's side, we're known for longevity. My grandfather will be 90 April 15th.
Congratulations
because
to him.
you live longer.
My
it's
grandmother
the time.
on my father's side is 91. Okay?
Yeah.
People don't even realize how old my parents are when they were coming to my house. They were like, your parents in their 60s? Yeah. My mother at the 23rd of this month will be 63. And the 21st of this month, my father will be 65. A short time for you is a long time for us. Okay? Because when you go on, somebody get that fucking Russian bot out of here. I hate those fucking things. And you're right, Nino. Will the content creators say it on their channels? My brother, my savior, my champion. I will force it down people's throats till it becomes, because when I do my security firm, the guys I send to training, because I'm not going to send you to one place of training, I'm going to send you to multiple. And then a requirement is you're going to pay 15% back into the fold. Because this fraternity is going to be like the Qs, the A's, and whoever else, and the Alphas.
You want these guys to
You're
be
gonna
multi-faceted, multi-talented. They need to be trained on multiple levels. On
because the
multiple
guys who
aspects of
fight for
security.
you, the one thing I train my wrestlers is the guy you see on your left, the guy you see on your right. When shit goes dark, that's most likely the guy that's going to be who has your back.
Yeah,
Like the hoplites, it's like the Greek
is.
hoplite. They fight as
That's
one.
like that back to like
And
battle buddy. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah.
look, hey, it don't matter what's going on. The person to my left, the person to my right, we gonna be good. And if you do
the
get hit,
hoplites,
I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get
the
you.
hoplites are the reason why we carry badges in the police department. Because of those shields. That's why they call them shields.
Yeah, the hoplites. Yeah, I remember that. Like that was
Or the
back
Roman
in the feudal.
legionnaires.
That was the feudal
When them
days,
shields
right?
when them shields interlock, you became invulnerable.
Excuse me, shattered. The hoplites is the ancient Greeks.
Okay, that was ancient Greek.
Like the
Okay,
Spartans.
yeah.
Ancient Greeks, Spartans.
That was
They were
before the
Athenians.
feudal. That was before
the
the feudal.
centurions were the Romans.
Yeah, centurions
Right,
were the
and then
Romans. That's before
the
feudal.
Praetorian.
Same,
You got the
same fighting
Praetorian
tactic
Guard.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Praetorian Guard. I remember that. That was like the protectorate though. Like they was like
They
the
protected the Caesar. That was a royal guard, basically, just like you had
yeah.
the imperial guards and the guys in the red robes in Star Wars. They were the elite of the elite, the most
It's
loyal
funny.
of the forces. Hell,
It's funny
if you look at
because
Iraq, look at Iraq. You had the regular army, which are all conscripts, but there was that core element called the Republican
It's
Guard.
just like with the Germans with the SS. The SS, the you know what I'm saying. The SS was like
Yeah.
we the dirty.
the
You know,
Wappen,
like everybody's checked in. Like we
the Wappen
gonna do.
SS, the Wappen SS was the equivalent of our Army Rangers.
Yeah. The Waffen SS. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
They
there's also
were the shock troops.
you have
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
National Guard in certain places,
Oh
a
yeah.
Republican
By the
Guard for
way,
certain
have you
certain.
noticed
Okay.
we're 40 minutes in and we haven't talked about gynocracy yet?
For
Not
what?
one time.
We talked
It's
about what
irrelevant to that
The only
conversation, yo.
time that we even said it
we
is
talked
that you
about
actually
we
mentioned
talked
the
about
point
what the
that we meant
brothers
to say.
we talked about the brothers in our age bracket and the younger should do. See, there's a reason why nobody has come up with anything in the manosphere yet. I don't call myself a bragger, but there's some things you do need to speak highly of. My brother, my champion, my savior. The only person that's going to save young black man is another black man. Sorry.
That's it. That's it, because there's no empathy we see even in our own culture most of the time, and then in other cultures, no empathy for the young black man. The only person that has empathy on a
Need another.
psychological total scale is another black man who has been through that, who wants to help the younger brothers. You know, on a total, like numbers. We talking numbers, Charles. We're trying to work
Yeah.
numbers.
I want to take y'all back to this movie, this cult classic called Highlander. Right?
Oh yeah.
Ramirez. Ramirez could have easily killed Connor McLeod, couldn't he?
You could have.
Yeah, plenty of time.
But what did he do? What did he do? He trained Connor. He said, "We're brothers." Wait a minute. Is that one of the tenets of the saying? We're brothers.
Right. My brother, my champion, my savior.
He even defended when Connor was away, his woman's life was his own.
Hmm.
Right. Whether he failed or succeeded.
That's honor. See, that's describing honor too. You feel me? Because you got loyalty, you got respect, and you got honor. Those three words mean different things, Charles. And a lot of people might have some, but they sometimes don't have the honor.
Hey Nino, if you got a chance, come up here, Nino. And it's fucked up, right? Because we don't have that. We lack that. And the shit that kills me is this. Nobody's telling young black men, worry not, fear not. Fear not. What's the old saying? Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I should do what?
Fear no one and no thing.
Think about that. I want y'all to say it again. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should do what?
Fear no evil.
Fear no evil. Is he even coherent? Is he paying attention?
He's actually saying it. Go ahead. Tell him what you said.
Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
He doesn't sound convincing. Come on, man. You got to say it with more conviction.
Come on.
Say
I'm
it with more
again. I'm
conviction.
gonna start it off again. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall do what?
Fear no evil.
And what's the other part?
Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me.
Think about it. When you're in battle, I gotta go into places, worlds unknown, lands unseen. And the only thing that comforts me is probably that rifle and my brother to my left and my right.
That's the only thing. Because there are no atheists in foxholes. None.
Oh, no, there's no atheists. You will know God's name when bullets go across your head. See, I challenge people to live those fucking words. I had to. Men on this panel and in this section at some point Had to. Men in this chat, even women in this chat, had to. My boy Josh, who's in the chat, had to fight over a gun while he was a trainee of a suspect.
Damn.
Which means, guess what? There is no bitch in this system.
He had to. It's life or
There's
death.
you know what that biblical said? You know what that biblical scripture said? I have no bitch in my system.
Better not.
I will disarm you.
In Baltimore, we used to have a saying that says, I have no bitch in my blood. You're looking at my Aunt Trisha who passed, who had to be a medic for 23 years, and she was willing to pull a 200-pound, 250, 280-pound man and had the ability to do it, to drag him and treat him. There was no bitch in that woman's blood.
Not at all.
Like my boy Leon when he was a correctional officer. When one of those white racist groups tried to come at him, and he tried to do something to him, he learned the different side of Leon you don't want to meet.
Did you do any impressions of the motherfucker afterwards?
And you know what's funny about the impressions? He was one of the people in jail when they said, what will Bernie Mac say if we go to lockup? He's like, you better take your ass into your cell while we do this count.
Yeah, you better take away this hill.
And he comforted so many young men and looked out for men that I knew. See, though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death, I shall do what?
Fear no evil.
And what's the rest of it, Padawan? And what? Say it with your chest.
Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me.
Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me.
Is the boy sober?
Oh yeah.
Hey, that was out there. He's like, he's so chill and everything. What? Wake up! Wake up, motherfucker! Wake up!
You know, men at arms, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a different fraternity, men at arms, because you can have all different, you know what I'm saying, political, religious, you know, even personal views. But when you start receiving fire, and that person beside you is going to fight to the death for you in the fucking goal. And if you do be hit, risk their life to come and get you. See, now that is honor and loyalty on another level that most don't get nowadays. And the Gray Faulkner Initiative saying that some young brothers who is of the age range should go to the military, because these are the things that you will learn. And you will learn this, you know.
And all three of us been through that military experience. And all three of us been through that military experience. See, you got to understand this. I was on Nathan Daly's channel today, and he asked me, what about do you think the personality and the character of an officer is important? I said, I don't give a damn where you come from. Do your goddamn job.
Man, that's it. That's it. Do your damn job, man. I don't care what you do. Hey, look, you know what?
You know what?
Even if I disagree with you 1,000,000%, you do your damn job. A motherfucker couldn't come and tell me shit. Motherfuckers want your ass.
He's racist.
He good.
He's racist. But guess what? He may be a racist, but did he not save those black children from being shot?
Because that was his duty.
Did he cover his body of black children, whether he fucking feels about what he feels? I don't give a fuck about it. See,
that's the
black
motto.
people.
Duty first. Duty first.
Fucking say that loud with get your chest out shattered.
Duty first.
That's what the fuck I tell people. Duty first, man. I don't give a fuck how you feel about me. I don't give a fuck how you feel about black people. When the time counts, are you going to protect them black children the same way you would do white children? And I've seen some questionable officers do some heroic shit for black people. Okay? Oh no, you trying to protect some races? Guess what? They did their duty. Let me explain something. You ever heard of the show called The Super Friends?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what their duty mission statement was. It was so deep it almost brought me to tears. They said their duty statement is this: to right that which is wrong, to fight injustice, and to serve mankind. Hello.
Man, that's a real easy 3 right there, man. I mean, that
And
covers a lot right there.
And that's from a goddamn cartoon in the 70s. Do I need to repeat that for the niggas in the back not listening?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Should.
To fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve mankind. Do you think the
Boom.
military, the fire department, and the police department could just use those 3 mission statements and they be good?
I mean, you don't need that much, Charles. Do no wrong. Even with the doctors, right? It's like the Hippocratic Oath, what they take. It's you take an oath, and see, it always comes back to this, right?
Think about it. The thing about it is, by the time I'm finished with my project with him and another wrestler of mine, they got to take an oath. I've taken several oaths for the military and the police. Actually, you have to take your oath twice as a police officer. Because the day you get hired officially, you take an oath, and the day you graduate, you take your oath again.
Reaffirming. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I got you.
So you're right. You have to reaffirm your oath. And see, when you take that oath, well, like when I was talking to Nathan Daly, hopefully he'll come around these parts, so we'll have more of those black military, police, fire, corrections, and security. We'll have another conference for the Black Public Safety Conference. See, when I told him, I said, look, when he asked me these questions, see, people think that I'm some new guy around these parts. I've been around here longer than most. Okay? I said, look, when that officer comes out there, do we need more black officers? Yes. But it's up to those black people to respect those people in authority.
Boom.
What's the point of having more black officers? You're going to disrespect a man or woman.
Hello.
What's the point? See, in order to get rid of white supremacy, you got to get rid of the white supremacists inside you. But y'all don't hear me, though. Y'all don't even hear me, though. I'm not even asking for cash apps or donations today. If you do it, that's off your volition. I'm not even going to force it. But you're going to hear my voice today.
Shit, if you ain't going to give you, might as well put some money on my books. That's just fuck with y'all. But then again, I don't give a fuck. I just got paid on Friday, so I'm good. I just got bumped at Johnny Kemp.
Hey, that's what's up. See, the problem with it is that when your mom and her sisters, which are the people in her generation, were fighting for independence. See,
thank you.
And all respect to those women and men in Eritrea.
Hey, don't forget the ones in Ethiopia, because they had that. Because plenty of them were fighting for the same shit in Ethiopia against a damn dictatorship.
Ethiopia, because I wish today that we still had the conquering Lion of Judah in charge of that motherfucker.
That is a polarizing character. I'll give you that much, because the history of Ethiopia is a lot more complex than you think. And
yes,
some of
it's
those
very,
things,
because I've actually,
some of those emperors,
I was a history buff, so I had to look at that shit. Just like people,
I mean, do you understand? No, go ahead.
Just like I had that guy try to tell me about religion. I said, first of all, if you want to talk about religion, let's talk about what tribe that Jesus was from. Then we'll start.
Yeah, that makes it real easy right then, because now I'm giving you that, because now I'm gonna go ahead and kill you with the history, because you act like you're trying to check me on history, and I'm finna show you that my knowledge is ultra.
Well, you said it. Now I got to do it. Now I got to do it. Hold up.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
Ultra.
I don't even understand. My boy All Might was almost at the limit of his power, but he had to protect them children.
Yeah.
See, I want everybody to research those 2 episodes when them children were fighting for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something else when your big brother or your father comes. Like, do you know how different it is when children are conversing against my son and his friends, and the children sees me coming out of this fucking Ford Explorer, and how children react differently?
Oh yeah, they gon' yeah. I know
So
what
that's your
exactly
dad?
what you mean.
Is that your dad?
Hey,
And
look,
they just
I did one crazier, right, Charles? Man, my stepson, you feel me? He was coming out. They was saying that they was bullying him at the school. So I said, okay. His mama said, go pick him up. Pick him up from school. They said, I'm like, I ain't pick. I'm like, yeah, I'm picking him up.
Shattered. You're shattered.
Hey, look, check this out.
No,
check this out.
I think he left the car. He left the phone in the car. Give him a minute. We'll take
Hey,
his back.
look, check this out, man. Check this out. So I pull up to the school. He come outside. His mama, you know what I'm saying, say, pick him up. I'm like, nah. Say somebody bullying, I'm gonna go pick him up. Yeah. But I pull up to the school. I'm like, yeah. He tried to jump in the car, locked door. I'm like, what's up? Man, let me in the car. I'm like, nah. Show me the little dudes that was trying to jump you. Go get them dudes. You feel me? He showed me who they was. And I say, well, y'all walk through the backside in the little ditch or whatever to get back home. That's where they jumped you at? He's like, yeah. I said, all right, walk just where you went the last time. I drove my truck all the way down to a gas station about maybe a half a mic from that location. And I walked down there, right, to where the X field from that area was, to where I knew they all had to come, the choke point. And I just waited. And they tried to jump him, sure enough, again. And I came out of that sucker, like you said, come out that Explorer. I came out the blue. Just, hey, what's going on here? No, ain't no jumping. Which one it is? That's him? That him? Okay, yeah. You and him fight right now. All y'all other motherfuckers stand to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And
Papa was a player.
When that man energy came in there, Charles, what I tell you, he ain't had no more problem. I didn't have to pick him up from school no more. He was walking home. He was the king of the tribe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He just won Wakanda. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I had a similar story to that with my nephew. I have a similar story with my nephew Ramsey. You know, he had dreads at the time. You know, he was shooting threes like Steph Curry before Steph Curry. And some kid was mad because the girls was loving him. You know, a little light skinned guy with dreads, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go get my brother's gun. I'm gonna shoot you." He called me. Okay, I'm gonna admit this shit. My family nickname is Papa Smurf. Hey, if you're gonna be called a Smurf, at least be the leader of the motherfuckers.
We got the beard for it.
Be like, yo, Smurf, this nigga said you gonna shoot me. I said, oh well. I put every gun in the car that I had in the car, and had my fucking weapon, and had the weapon on me on the fucking hip. The director of the place said, no, we don't want any trouble. I said, no, you gotta understand something. I'm not a violent man. I end violence. I said, we're Faulkners. Even though his last name is Johnson, but he has Faulkner blood in him. We don't mind fighting.
He's
But the
Faulkner.
first motherfucker pull a weapon is a dead man. I promise you that. So if the boy want to fight, we'll fight. You motherfuckers stay the fuck out of it. And I asked him, y'all want to fight? My nephew was like, what's up? Nobody jumping? I said, trust me. They be put down like rabid dogs before they even know what hit them.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember
ain't no jumping, ain't none of that. Like I'm a firm believer in you gonna fight your battles. I'm not gonna fight them for you. I'm not gonna fight them for now. Somebody doing you dirty.
Even with my son, when we went to the zoo, and it was this boy Anthony. I can't stand that motherfucker, and I see why my son looked at him like a motherfucker. He might not have said it, but I know he wanted to say it so badly. Daddy, he's a motherfucker. And I would have been like, you know what? Normally I punish you for saying that, but that's true. I said, you know what? I said, you know what, boy? If he tries to swing on you, I grabbed my son by his jacket and whispered in his ear, fuck him up.
Yeah.
I said, if you gotta do, and you know what? He swung. My son ducked. You thought it was Floyd Mayweather Jr. for the way he weaved that shit. He hit him with a fucking 5-piece biscuit, fries, and a drink.
And a chicken sandwich.
And a chicken sandwich or that with somebody in the back. And I was like, one of the parents that was like, oh no, don't hit him. I had to push that motherfucker. You ever see it when the parent kicked the little motherfucker? Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah,
hey, what's good, Nino? You got your camera on. Nino, unmute yourself.
He got his camera on because he want to show off. That's Nino's. Oh, you got
Nino, unmute yourself.
Muted.
Yeah, I got it on because I see Charles got his on.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, I get it. You don't want to get outdone, huh? You got to outdo the motherfuckers.
How you like to,
wait a minute. How you like to, I ain't been styling profiling.
How you like to shape up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I don't care nothing about no styling profiling right now, man. I've been filming all day.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Because it's about time. You know, salute the Shattered, Namer, and Nino, because y'all were the people who carry first and foremost my brother, my champion, my savior. Because a lot of niggas think that I'm some phony nigga, and I said, nah, I'm 10 toes down no matter where the fuck I go on this planet. I said, I'm gonna be the same nigga. Go ahead.
I like the way you handled yourself the other day over on that channel, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I know the talking points. I know what they was expecting you to say, and you held that shit down.
The respect.
You know, and all the leading questions. I'm not, not shitting on PPOT, but I knew what was going. We about uplifting black men.
Yeah.
More than tearing them down. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm gonna put it to you this way, not to tell all the young Padawans business. He was telling me about his struggles growing up. I said, trust me, you 18. I'm about to be 40. And the crazy thing about it, him and Leon has the same birthday.
Oh wow.
So he always said, my Gemini brother. And it's crazy because when he said you're going through a struggle, trust me, you're supposed to go through a fucking struggle because that's what makes you stronger.
You gotta go through it, man.
Tribulations, man.
You know what I loved about?
I mean, you don't know. You can have all the potential. You can have all the potential in the world, but it means nothing until until you put to the test and see what you're really made of.
All the potential in the world. I'm gonna tell you my football coach told me. He said all the potential. You could be the best talented athlete, all of that, but when you put them pads on and you go against another person who wants this shit as much or more than you and will easily put you on your ass for points. If your heart not ready, you will never come back.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told him when he first wrestled me. Oh, I'm gonna teach you to fight, then I'm gonna teach you to wrestle.
Boom.
Because guess what?
Whoa.
The first move I do to all my wrestlers, male or female, is to throw you over my shoulder and land on you. And I'm gonna tell you,
Man,
and
we
guess
got to
what?
bring back Starcade for that, man. You doing some Starcade shit now.
Oh yeah, you know why? Because I told them you went through probably one of the most traumatic experiences in your life. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will be as tough and as vicious as me. And when you can get over that, you could conquer anybody.
No, you right, bro. When I was playing ball, bro, I thought I was the hot shit defensive end, bro. I'm getting in. I'm beating the tackle. I'm beating the guard. I'm beating double teams. Man, I was young. I was lighting ass. I'm practicing against the high school varsity squad because they bringing me up because I'm quick. Bro, I messed around and they figured out what I was doing. And they was like, yeah, he think he cold. He got talent, but we finna wake him up. And because I hit the quarterback one time, you can't hit that red shirt, right? You ain't supposed to hit him, but I was touching him. And man, they brought a trap on me, Charles. A solid trap. Baltimore know how to do it real good. With that play action trap, with that bootleg, what they do with Lamar, that play action trap bootleg, they let you in there, they let you the defensive end in, and then they come through with that damn running back and the tackle and or the tight end if it's on that side and chop your knees and slant and blindside you with the fucking. Then they blindsided me, bro. I'm talking about, nigga, my nose bleeding, everything. But when I went down, knowing I'm the young dog, you know what I mean? They like, yeah, we got him. He thought he was high shit. He coming up from JV. We gonna bless him. And look, I got straight up and came back next play. We like, oh, you need to play off. I'm like, nah, ain't no playoff. And they was like, hard. See, heart is not talent. See, it's not.
See, I can't teach heart. What I tell you? I can't teach heart. I can teach you how to fight. Can't teach heart. Like let me go back to my man. Let me go back to my man All Might real quick, if you don't mind. What did he say?
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
See, I had a similar story. When I first wrestled, see, I was knocked unconscious the first time I met Mr. Brown, and he was in his early 50s. And it was funny because you ever met a man whose grip was so strong he could crush apples and break pliers?
That's that old man strength, Charles. That old
like
man.
My
think
son,
you can whoop that old man. You think you can whoop him. You think you can whoop him.
He knocked me unconscious.
Okay,
showed me something. It's like my son. He's getting stronger and bigger, and he's like shaking my hand, and he think he could do something. He like, look at you, you weak. And I told him, I said, you think I'm weak? Okay, try to wrestle me. And he tried to wrestle me, and he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize how strong you were.
It was like Habib against
and really, I'm just playing with you. I ain't even going hard on you. I ain't even going hard.
I'll tell you one thing about it. When I was in the police academy, I cut from 240 pounds to 205.
Whoa.
And I still, because we ran so much, that's the reason why when ignorant niggas like Colin Kaepernick be like, nah, you got to understand. We were trained by a guy who was a SWAT sniper, was the head of the PT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
okay?
yeah, y'all was doing conditioning.
So when niggas try to come at me, even football players from college, they were like, yo, he said I went against offensive linemen and I'm a defensive end. He said I've never had a man, like I came straight at you. You just ducked me and put me on your shoulder and walked with me and just drilled me into the ground. He said that is a different level of strength and control.
Yeah, it's a rare thing. It really is. I had a guard who drafted me in on the semi-pro league on different team, and I was doing tackle. He had me on DN. They was spelling me out. They had me at middle linebacker, DN. I was like, man, DN my position, but they had me sparing. They were doing everything. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna put you at tackle. My brother was the guard, man. He got me on the team. He got me drafted. And when I said, man, I need some help, man. We was going against these Port Arthur dudes, man. I never forget him. This dude had to been like 6'8", and I'm talking about he like 270, 6'8", but fast as hell, lanky. And man, that dude was hitting that edge. They got me on tackle. The tight end went on my side. I'm like, man, I gotta hold this motherfucker. I'm like, bro, they didn't already hit me with 2 flags, bro. Help me out, please. Hey, please.
You know what?
Hey, he grabbed this dude, Charles. When I say I'm trying to block him, I can't even touch him. This motherfucker is glass. He's liquid. And look, I said, man, give me some help. That man, my brother came through with that goal. He like like fucking damn near 7 foot, about 300. And he come out there when I say he touched him. When I say he touched him, you ever seen a person when a person touch your chest and block you and throw your back hit the ground before your feet do?
Oh,
like just instantly just blocked. I'm like, what the hell? I just jumped onto something to make sure he didn't get up. I'm like, good Lord. I'm like,
I remember one time.
Like that, dog, you know, that's a
but
real.
Charles, you're just not just strong. You're also technical with that shit because you know how to get under.
It's body leverage. It's leverage.
Leverage, technique, as well as strength. So he knows how to move. That's the thing about wrestlers.
I remember one time my boys told me, you should have played football, Charles. I said, why? I said, I'm a much better wrestler. We were playing out Patterson Park, South Patterson Park. Pickup game, tackle. No pads, no nothing. I should have brought a mouthpiece, but fuck it. We tough, right? My boy Ali was the tight end. It was this guy who was like about 6'2", 270, 280, probably 290. Who knows? Ali caught the ball and he laid him flat. I mean, he put him out like you thought it was copy paper.
Well, he was a middle linebacker over the middle. He was had a middle route.
He was like either a middle linebacker or a defensive fucking tackle. And Ali was like, fuck yeah, I'm playing basketball now. Fuck this shit. So my boy Darren, he was playing defensive end and offensive line. So I'm the running back, right? And they said we doing halfback sweep. So they had me the ball. The same big dude who laid my boy out, I just ducked under him and put my shoulder underneath his chest and rocked his ass and stepped on him. I'm trying to have some fucking and I hit him. That shoulder hit him in the chin like an uppercut.
Knocked the chin strap off.
Even when I wrestled, I lost my first match, right? And I did all this training. And at that moment, I had a fork in the road, as they say, where I could feel sorry for myself and say, you know what, this shit wasn't for me. But something in me was like, nah, I like this shit. We gonna run this one back.
Hey, so man, the rush of it, man. It's like the rush. Like you right, bro. Like I fucked around, was on Suicide Squad. That's called special teams. So I was on Suicide Squad, and back then we didn't have the greatest black kickers and punters. So sometimes those kicks would go low and they'll squib. Even if he kick it for 30, it'll squib. So I tried to grab a squib, you know what I'm saying, and I kind of fumbled it. And then I finally got on it, and the coach was like, "Don't grab that squib ass shit." You know what I'm saying? Let the down back get it. Let the back the up back get you up back. You ain't supposed to get it. Let the returner get. I'm like, he like, you got to back up. If you got to back up to catch it, it ain't your ball. But I'm like, well, shit, if it hit the ground, I'm trying to get on it. If I can pick it up, no, I don't pick it up. Fall on the ball. So I did it. I fucked up, fumbled it, got it back. The next time, same thing happened, but it seemed like the squib, it just shot straight to me. and it like literally I couldn't fall on it because it bounced up in my hands, literally. And that old energy of that's the difference of a champion. Funny you say champion, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Oh,
get
yes.
that ball, now you like, oh, it's a fucked up play, the shit and squib. Man, I got like 90 yards and scored on the shit. And I was like, damn, okay, that same play, the same exact play. But you just had to stay in the game. You can't quit, man. You can't
Mm-hmm.
quit.
Winners always
That's how it
find a
was.
way to win.
That's how it
You
is. When
always find a way to overcome anything.
the first match I lost in wrestling, I seen him at the tournament. He couldn't go 2 minutes with me, and I pinned his ass. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I felt like this shit here. You know, I gotta use these videos.
By the power of Grayskull.
The power.
Here's my question, Charles. Charles, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
That very same opponent, did you guys ever have a rubber match?
Which one?
He didn't want. He was a senior, so he didn't want no more.
Oh, okay.
Let me put it to you this way: my first championship was the ruin match for a lot of juniors and seniors. I was a sophomore, so I only wrestled 3 years. So
Okay.
I lost my first match, but in my first year, I won the championship. Like I said, the guy I beat the tar and feathers out of 2 weeks ago, we went to triple overtime, and we dog-ass tired. And like I said, I had to step forward, keep coming forward. That's how you see us breathing. Like it looked like a Dragon Ball Z fight. Somebody give me a Zenzu bean. God damn.
Well,
They kept saying,
that's when you know you really going against a seasoned opponent. And you
mm-hmm.
really got to go ahead. Now it's getting to the last round. That's why I respect full count boxers, right? They go them 12 rounds, and it used to be 15, right? Back in the days before they, had the union or whatever. 12 rounds you going through. I mean, with a seasoned fighter, you're gonna be winded. You're gonna be winded.
But you're gonna enjoy every second of it. And it was like the
Yeah.
team kept encouraging me, keep walking forward. He's stalling, and the referee was like, caution, stalling. And I kept going forward. I was dog tired. He was like, yo, keep going forward. Kept walking forward. He's stalling. 1 point, new champion. I'm like, okay, the match over. Did I win? I didn't even know. I was so tired, I didn't even realize I won because even when the team was carrying me over, they were all excited. I'm like, what happened?
You were exhausted. You were too disoriented. Somebody had to get you the Kool-Aid, revive your ass.
And they were like, oh my. They were like, when I told all the guys I wrestled that night, I was like, this is my first year. They're like, oh my God. They're like, by senior year, you're going to be a fucking nightmare.
Indeed, he was.
Like, bro, I literally in the track game, man, had this one guy. Every time he get on the damn field, man, from district to regional to North State to state championships, I'd always, if he's in the race, I'd always be second, right? Every time. I beat everybody, his whole school, everybody in the district, everybody in the regional. I could not beat him. He's from my county. And he went to a well-known school. The dude was pretty cold. But man, I could never beat him, right? We get to state and we're going, and we got everybody from North State, South State, and we going. Now I could never beat him. His whole team, his other teammate made it, and I was the only one from my school that made it against the whole state of Mississippi. So we running, and I came out the block funny, and he came out the block kind of crazy. And I'm like, because we going against each other. We was like in 4 and 5. And in the 8 lane, 4 or 5, the middle people is the best times. You feel me? that's how they do it. You know what I mean? The middle
Mm-hmm.
people in the middle of the track. So we like right next to each other. Man, I messed around, hit my knee on one of them. Dude hit me on the arm. I hit my knee on the second hurdle. We was running 110 hurdles high, and I messed around and fell. He fell as well. And the dude who actually knocked me over, he kept going. They didn't call interference or nothing. It was just straight gone. The dude walked off of the field, so off the track, right? My coach sitting there. All I can hear in my mind is go, 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 go. I ran, I fell. The top time was like 11:9 or like 12, something like that. I wound up getting a 14 and finishing. He did not finish. So as it goes in the Mississippi High School Association of the state championship, I actually beat him. You know why? Because I never quit. I finished the race.
Never quit. Never quit. You finished the
Wait a
race.
minute, did he end up injured or did he just not finish? The other guy.
No, he went to Southern, and then he
No.
he,
Was he injured? Why
was-
didn't he finish?
he was slightly injured, but more pride. We was talking about pride earlier, right? Ego, right? Because
Right.
he couldn't stand me beating him because he had beat me the whole time. He was like, I mean, when I say the mother got sparks coming out his ass, that nigga there was fast like a rocket, man. I'm talking about, man, that nigga had Back to the Future feet, man. I'm talking about.
when you saw the fucking speed force after that nigga.
Bro, I
Hold
always
on.
see
Can
the
we
back
get
of his
Mr. G
head.
stinking ass
I
up in here?
always see the back of his head.
Hey Z, come up
Get up
on
here.
here,
You
man.
gonna make a shameless plug? Get up here. Get your ass up here.
Hold on. I gotta do it again. I gotta give him some motivation and shit. Y'all should have never told me there was videos of this bitch, man.
By the power of Grayskull.
Your daddy magic.
Boy,
Your daddy is magic.
I tell people, I say, look, they be like, why you
Shadow,
like
did you been to
He-Man?
Flint,
Why you like?
Michigan?
They always tell me, why you like He-Man so much? I said, if you notice Adam before he invoked the power of Grayskull, he's lily white. What color does he become when he becomes He-Man?
Tan.
Dark.
He's
But
dark.
you got to remember, according to the new series, which is a continuation of the Funimation series, King Grayskull is what?
Black.
Black. When Adam says, by the power, this is the nigga he talking about.
Yeah, by the power of Black
By
Skull.
the power. But you also remember an African spirituality, like, shout out to the Haitian nation. Who did they invoke the power of? Their ancestors.
Courtesy of voodoo.
And who does
And they
He-Man
won,
invoke
and they pushed back a highly technological and shit, man. The fact
And
that
who
they
does-
won had to get them their independence. Their ancestors was, and it was like bullets was coming, and the soldiers and the partisans would not fear the bullets being shot, and were not being hit.
See how the conversation goes full circle? So I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I should do what, Padawan?
Fear no
Fear
evil.
no evil.
Fear no evil. And thy rod and thy scepter shall comfort me.
That's right.
See, that's that when African spirituality, they invoke the power. So who's Adam's ancestor?
A black man named Grayskull. King Grayskull.
So that lets you know, if he's invoking that power, how fucking powerful was King Grayskull?
Right. He's
Powerful
invoking.
little motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know, I got to do this for the fans one more time. Go ahead, Shatter.
Well, I'm saying, meaning he can do that from the invokement of his spirit Just the invokement of it.
You gotta say it with your chest out, because the niggas in the back ain't hear you.
Just the invokement of the spirit gives this man the power of the gray skull.
And remember, what was He-Man's moniker? The most powerful man in the universe. So if you invoke your ancestral power, I gotta play it again for the people.
By the power of Grayskull.
The power!
And see, here's the crazy part about it. Notice when he said by the power of Grayskull, what was his next statement?
I am the power.
I have the power.
I have the power.
So you got to understand something. When they prayed to their ancestral power, because Africa, everybody's mixed in a little bit at some point.
True.
Guess what? I'm pretty sure that you got a little bit of Zulu Nation if we check your DNA, don't you, Namer?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And how powerful was Shaka Zulu?
Very powerful.
Man, the spirit.
But I can think of more. I know of greater. I know of great kings closer to home.
Matter of fact, when I checked my DNA, I had ancient pharaohs DNA in me.
Ancient Egyptian.
Yep.
We talking like black pharaohs, like the Nubian ones?
Yep.
Because my ancestors fucked with the Nubians.
I had Nubian blood in me. I had pharaoh blood in me. So literally, when I talk about I'm the king of this shit, I ain't lying.
Look, hey, bro, DNA memory. They've already figured that out. That actually is a thing. DNA memory. It actually is.
What do you think? What do you think? There's a video game franchise called Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
I would liken it to something that's outside of the gaming world. Just look at they say monkeys is stupid, and they try to always use racial stereotypes and racism. They call black folk monkeys and all that dumb shit. I'm gonna tell you, monkeys is not stupid. I seen a monkey swipe right on some pretty fine ass bitches on Instagram, and I'm telling you, the monkeys went. Them dogs was killing the monkeys, and they went and killed all the dogs, puppies, and killed the dogs, and went straight after the people who
Shattered. I can tell you this right now: baboons, they hate lions, but you know what they do? They kidnap the cubs and kill them.
Baboon?
Yes. Baboons.
I can imagine that because of the stream. But I'm talking about monkeys that live in the city, that's in the city, take over the city. They had one when the COVID happened, when they was, I think it was in India somewhere.
Wait, where was this? India?
These monkeys literally took over the city, start breaking into stores. Like literally, bro, this is not a joke. Not a drill. This is not a drill.
Obviously, macaque monkeys you're talking about.
But that right there is one thing. Okay, they smell the food inside the store. They're going to go in there, whatever. There ain't nobody in there because of COVID. But the part of what I'm saying is that monkeys who drop the dogs, that implies consciousness. That is consciousness. That dog that killed that monkey, they went and summarily executed the puppies of the town.
Damn right.
Yeah. You got to think about. You got to think about it. What you just said, both you and Namer, they actually knew what their enemies were and handled them accordingly. But guess what? Yep. Black people in America don't know who their enemies are. Who said that? Woo!
Yeah, you know because we see who they fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You fight the enemy. You can see their battle lines drawn. There's regions called the front. This is the front.
The front lines.
Right, it's the front. So anything that's moving around, what the front is. So when you start to see certain battle lines be drawn in the front, now you know You know now, because it's real simple. Because as a progressive brother that's thinking progressive, my brother, my champion, my savior being the motto, a lot of
Fuck
people
progressive,
don't
we
want
forward
to say it.
thinking.
They don't want to say it because that implies my brother's keeper to a certain extent, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have a problem with that. And I can understand that to a certain extent. But when it comes down to the brothers that's thinking who actually revolve around these spaces that we can affect, then those brothers are who we're looking for. We can't worry about the the flim flam on the outside. We worrying about the brothers who is here, who actually will listen and we can actually work with, that's got talent that can be molded, iron sharpen iron.
But see, this is the problem. You know, like Z said with his comment, you got the bears and the wolves killing each other's cubs when there's enough game to go around for everybody.
It's called limited competition. You see this in Africa with you got hold on, wait, hold up. You got to see like wildlife documentaries on the savannah of Africa. Leopards, hyenas, wild dogs, lions will all kill each other's cubs/pups because they understand that pup, that young will grow to be an adult, be a competition for their young when it's their time to come up and take over the territories.
The new generation, man, it's territory.
You want to limit the competition,
right? The generation.
You know who your enemies are. I mean, there's a documentary I remember watching back in the day, 1991. It was National Geographic. It's called Eternal Enemies: Lions versus Hyenas. One of my favorite documentaries ever. I saw that about 3-4 times. And there was this one line there. This was set in Botswana, on the game reserve in Botswana. That's in Southern Africa. There was this one line. His name was Inchwa Dumelu. That means he who greets with fire. This one was hyper aggressive, but the reason they called him he who greets with fire because he also had a bit of a red tint to his mane. And they call this one the hyena killer because they showed him killing hyenas. He was really brutal with the hyenas. He did not fuck around. In fact, there was a rival mate. There was a hyena clan that was fucking with the pride. He kept taking out the matriarch.
I'm gonna put it to you this way: you've seen lions. Lions are, even when they had lions and tigers. Tigers are stronger and bigger, but when a tiger fights a lion, they think that lion's a sociopath. Like what the fuck?
Shit.
I know. Like they're like, this motherfucker will go to fucking hell and back to kill me. And
First of all, who competes with a tiger for territory and for resources? Not that many. Lions, they got to deal with leopards. They got to deal with hyenas. They got to deal with.
Despite tigers being bigger and stronger, lions are the better fighters.
They have to compete because they've been fighting their whole lives. Tigers, they don't have to fight with a lot of animals other than themselves and maybe bears in some situations.
Yeah, like they got a different environment. The environment's different.
You got to think about it. Genetically, since we talking about science, notice we didn't talk about gynocracy.
Not once.
Lions genetically have a hormone in them that makes them grow bigger and stronger and thicker mane.
Yep.
And that's why when you have a liger, which is a male lion and a female tiger, that liger grows bigger. Like it's 1,000 to 1,200 pound cat. But that's why genetically they have it. But you got to understand, hyenas are built with a 1,200 pound bite force because they crush bone.
Oh, they can crush any bone easily. They can crush animals.
Then their stomachs is almost like a buzzard. Like here in Texas, anything die like a buzzard.
It's acidic.
Yeah, they can eat any dead meat been on the road for hours, days. They can eat it, you know.
But it's funny because you have black men in Africa who tame hyenas. what type of shit that nigga on?
Yeah, man, because we the rulers. We the rulers. Like that, we tame the shit. In the Bible, we are, you know what I'm saying? It says you will be in the kingdom of all, what is it, beast, fowl, and beast. You feel me? You will
Mhm.
tame that. That means we are. So,
You gotta realize this is that when the black man is secure in his masculinity, every other creature on earth bows to him.
facts.
Do I need to say that shit again?
One more goddamn time.
One more. We're gonna say it to the Mississippi. One more again.
That's
When a
right.
black
That's
man
right.
is
That's right.
that right. You know, when a black man is secure in his masculinity, every creature on earth bows to him.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have He-Man riding the back of a fucking green tiger, and King Grayskull had a fucking saber-toothed tiger, which was his steed, and it was a black
Mm-hmm.
man doing it. So I'm gonna be like my ancestors. It takes a cart. It's it's so fucked up.
What?
It took a cartoon in the 80s and now for white people to even admit that black man, we invoke his shit.
Ha
You look at
ha.
Yeah.
you
Over
look at
time.
Washington D.C. You look at Washington D.C. And shout out to my boy Leon. May he rest in peace, paradise, and power. He was a Mason,
Oh.
a black man who was a Mason, was the architect of D.C. And how much did D.C. change from today? Not much.
Nah.
Yeah. Not almost. Yeah, you're right.
And if you look at every bit of D.C., there's a lot of Egyptian,
Masonic.
Ethiopian and Masonic measuring out of each part of the importance of DC.
And the
Tell me if
obelisk.
I'm lying.
And the obelisk.
One more time.
The obelisk.
Because guess what? When you have that obelisk, which was a smaller version of a pyramid,
Mm-hmm.
it pointed up, right?
Yep.
Because the pyramids were technically diamonds in shape.
Diamonds in the sky.
Yeah.
And when you look from the coordinates, it took 2.5. Each brick weighed 2.5 tons. And we're still trying to figure out how the fuck did they make them. It took 2.5 million bricks to make the Great Pyramid. Y'all following me?
The Great Pyramid of Giza. And there was still more.
And from the tip of the pyramid up there in space, 2.5 light years away, was from a star cluster called what? The Eye of God.
Orion's belt. Because you see the way the pyramids are aligned and everything. It's supposed to reflect the sky. The same thing with other places where they have pyramids.
And see, here's the crazy part. They were more in tune with the God consciousness than we were.
A lot of ancient societies were like more in tune with the nature of the world they live in. They were in tune with every aspect of nature. They didn't try to go against it.
What was the ancient name of the fucking crocodile? The Leviathan. Remember? Have you ever noticed every culture on Earth has a story about a dragon?
Yeah.
What's the closest thing we have in nature to a dragon?
The crocodile. Or
Crocodile,
dragon,
dinosaurs.
It's one of the oldest. Yeah, it's
You ever
the
seen a
oldest.
Komodo dragon down in Southeast Asia?
You do know how much of a history buff I am. Did you know when the ancient pyramids were built, the woolly
Mhm.
mammoth still roamed the earth?
No, I
Fucks
didn't know that.
fucks you up, doesn't it?
Yikes.
Hey,
Oh
I'm
well,
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one even better. We was talking about earlier. I was saying like the shit is so cold right now with those tonnages and that laser precision with the tonnages
Mm.
without electric allegedly, right? Okay, here it is. The coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza is exactly 29.9792458 degrees north. Okay, now this is only but one coordinate giving the latitude, right? But not its longitude, but it is only one of many lines of latitude that pass through the pyramid, meaning it is a
Mm.
nexus. Okay, so now
Whoa.
let's go to the speed of light. What is the speed of light? The
the
speed of
same
light
damn
is
number.
299,000. No, I'm sorry. 299,792,458 meters per second. I think they have here. Coordinates of Great Pyramid 299792458. Exactly the north longitude point of it,
Wow.
And
and
what's
it's
the?
north
And by
south.
the way, you on your computer, right?
Yes,
What's the volume of the fucking Great Pyramid?
the total volume.
Yep. Is it really, really fucking close to what I gave you the numbers of?
Stand by.
Of 2.5 to 2.6?
Stand by.
Stand by.
Oh, for the 23
Okay,
people,
here we
guess
go.
what?
The Great Pyramid of Khufu has volume of 86,700,000 cubic feet with a height of 455.
Mm-hmm.
And the volume is 2.6 million meters to the third power.
Huh. Yeah, that I see the volume right here. That is
That
remarkably. I mean, like for them
that
to
is
do this,
remarkably accurate, isn't it?
yeah, like for
Right.
them to do that without allegedly electricity, even though batteries were found, we know they still have charge. For God's sakes, when they found them in the damn thing, thousands of years. That's how they knew it was a battery because it had charge on it in copper. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like okay,
Why do you think the Ark of the Covenant could incinerate motherfuckers? Because it was made of the same gold and copper, which are what? Great conductors of what?
energy.
Electricity.
Well, you
Why do
see,
you think?
Hitler went into North Africa just to find it.
But
Remember that
but
now.
guess what? I'm gonna break it down to you, and Namer, who's a native of that area,
Mm-hmm.
can debunk me if he wants, if I'm wrong.
Okay.
The reason why he sent the Italians over there is because he knew where the Ark of the Covenant was, and guess what? His dumbass couldn't get it.
The Ark of the Covenant is
Yeah, that
believed to
was
be
Rommel.
found.
Did he put Rommel in charge of North Africa?
He
He
put
No, no,
Rommel
no,
in
no, no, no,
charge.
no, 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 no. Hold on. He said the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant. You're talking about the Italians. First of all, shattered. When we talk about World War II, everybody knows about the North African, the Pacific, and the European theater, right? No one talks about the East African theater of it, which was pretty short lived.
Which would shock you
okay.
because I knew that, right, Namer?
I'm not shocked because we've been talking about that. The city you're talking about is the city of Aksum in northern Ethiopia. Saint
And
Mary,
what is Eritrea and Ethiopia called in the ancient times?
ancient Abyssinia, Aksum,
Mm-hmm.
the kingdom of Aksum, in the ancient city that still exists. There's a small church there. It's called Our Lady Mary of Zion. That is where they believe the ark is housed right now. There's a documentary that talked about where the ark could be, and they ended up there. And they see that place is heavily before the Civil War that was taking place, but that place is
Do you still
heavily
think it's
guarded.
there? Do you still
I
think it's
would not
there?
be.
I
I
think it's
still think it's there because where else would they take it?
there. We'll put it
You
to you this
still
way.
have the Jewish. You still
You don't think
have
Mussolini would have gave it up?
Nope, because
most.
Mussolini got his ass kicked.
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Ain't shattered. The East African theater of World War II. It ended that war. That part of the war ended in November of 1941. The British had already taken over that area. Haile Selassie was
Okay.
reinstalled as emperor by December of 41.
And here's a little known secret about that, right? A lot of black Americans came over there to defend that motherfucker.
You know how they were able to beat the Italians?
Go ahead.
First of all, the British had their troops in northern Somalia, which is under their colonial rule, northern Italian Somaliland. They had Sudan, they had also South Sudan and Kenya. But here's the problem. Northern Eritrea, with the exception of the western lowlands, is high ground.
They knew the land.
You cannot fight the terrain. And also when they try to cross from Sudan, crossing into northern Ethiopia, heading into the central part, it's high ground. It's mountainous. You are fighting uphill battle. You cannot.
Why do they sing songs of the hills of Ethiopia?
Mm-hmm. They could not defeat the Italians in those places because they had high ground. Plus, they also had the knowledge of the area, thanks to some of the defectors.
Even
Didn't
almost
the ancient Romans use those same men as legions because they couldn't actually operate in that area?
You got to think about it. Almost a century before that, Menelik II, because that's not the first time, when he kicked the fucking asses of the Italians almost a century before that.
March of 1896, Battle of Adwa.
And he was such a, you do know in the war colleges, they still talk about him. They talk about him, Hannibal, King Shaka. Majority of the classes you take in the war colleges of the who? African kings, emperors, and generals.
Mm-hmm.
Am
you want to talk about generals?
Right?
There's one person. No, you're not lying. There's one general that they talk about. If you're from Tigray, there's one general that they venerate. His name was Ras Alula Tembian. In fact, if you see this current civil war, when the Tigrayans were pushing the Amharas and the Ethiopian government out of their home territory, it started from the Tembian region, which was Ras Alula's home region, and that's in south central Tigray. From there, they were able to push and reclaim the eastern half. They're still trying to fight to get the western half back. This region has known combat, has known war more than they've known peace, because this is a strategic place.
They've known war for over 5,000 years.
Well, yeah, well, I'm saying, like, what about Ulrich the Visigoth? What about him? What do you think about him? He went there to die, right? He died there, right? Ulrich the Visigoth, the king of the Visigoths.
It's funny because I don't know if Kareem was here earlier when I spoke of that. The King of Kings, the conquering line of Judah. I did say that earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Which they call the emperors of Ethiopia. You know, the
emperors of Ethiopia. They inherited that from the Aksumite kings. And of course, there was another group of people who called themselves the King of Kings, the Achaemenid emperors, the Persian emperors.
And by
King
the
of
way,
Kings.
what does emperor mean?
King of Kings.
King of Kings. And by the way, for all you history buffs, you do know the
Nugget
first time in
Nugget
history the term King of Kings or Emperor was ever found in history was when 1,000 years before Christ.
Nugus Nugusat, as they say in Amharic. Antigunya.
Say it with your chest out.
Nugus Nugusat.
See, this is why on this channel, you ever notice you're going to learn something?
You always learn something new every day. The day you stop learning is the day you begin to die.
Yeah, he did, man. He did right then.
Because I didn't finish my degree. I'm still working on 2, which I'm going to finish, by the way. And it's
All
funny
time,
because remember, on this channel, we're multifaceted men. We don't have to talk about the gynocracy because guess what? We don't give a fuck about them chicks who don't want to be with us. You see the faithful few who's in here with us, like Kareem and Toya. If we got 100 women like them, we would conquer the earth.
Okay. By the way, point earlier, they couldn't conquer that easily.
Yep, I told you, the Rastafarian.
In hell in the Sahel regions of Sudan, even from the lowlands of Kenya, you cannot invade that region easily because it's an uphill battle. But what they were able to do, was this: understood the Italians were fascists. Now, I'm not sure if this is for if they did the same thing for the Somalis, but they did this for the Eritreans. The British were, along with assistance from whatever Ethiopians who were among them, who could speak the local language, some of these languages, they dropped on Italian positions.
Do you think that whoever has the art
hold on
is using it?
Shattered, hold on. They dropped leaflets over those positions. These native soldiers picked them up, and it was written in the native languages. It said, "We understand how much you hate the fascists, because the fascists were just like apartheid. If you defeat freedom," which was an empty promise. And they were thinking, you know what? As bad as it is with dealing with the fascists, we'll take our chances and take the British on their offer. So they started abandoning the Italians.
Yeah.
The Italians, because they were outgunned. They realized they were outgunned because now that their own troops have turned against them, they had to surrender. By April, they surrendered their positions in Eritrea, and then in November, Ethiopia was recaptured and become liberated.
Didn't they lose their logistics too, though? Didn't they lose their logistics?
Exactly. Everything. They lost everything.
See, here's the crazy part about it. When Shirley, when I was on Art New Style, shout out to Art New Style, and I told her about, what do you think about Russia and Ukraine? I said, first and foremost, if Russia wanted to invade Ukraine, they would have done it already.
It'd be done. It'd be done now.
I said,
but it wouldn't be over.
Saber rattling.
But it wouldn't be over.
It's called posturing.
Yeah. It's intimidation. That's why even with these troop movements going on, it's all it is. It's just intimidation.
But
and the Ukrainian understand something.
Putin saber rattles constantly, so it's not nothing new. I mean, even if we go back to just the Obama administration when we had the first, strike up, and then with NATO, and to be honest, you can go and start looking at some of these NATO alleged allies who are not doing their part in whatever coalition that we can say. But I would say this is that the Black Sea is theirs. It always has been. It's not our fight. I would never expend one drop of American blood.
I think the Turks have something to say about that. I think the Turks would have something to say about that, saying the Black Sea belongs to the Russians.
See, the craziest part about it is The craziest part about that is this: when you look at this war, anything worth fighting for is going to be fought over. History dictates that.
That's right.
And one thing you'll find out: if Ukraine is not willing to fight for its own, which Ukraine is ready for, they knock at they buck. The only way Russia and Ukraine will go to war is if one side or the other's fucking commanders do something, or a soldier does something stupid. While they are, Russia's gonna bring back troops. They're posturing, just like I said about Syria years ago, and BGS was like, "You were right."
Look, they KGB. Imagine, Charles. Remember, that's their people.
Yeah,
No matter what
that's their fight.
That's their people.
That's their fight. That's their
right.
fight, not our
Let me explain
fight.
something to you, something shattered. Let me explain something else. So, let's say Russia did invade, right? And they took over most of it. It's one thing to conquer it, but to maintain control of that area, you're gonna have 40 million Ukrainians. If they can't fight you conventionally, they will engage in asymmetrical insurgency type shit.
What you gotta look at what they
what,
want. What is the area? What they want? They want that
the
deep water port. They want
the
gas
ports
line
and they
up
want
there.
the oil. They want the ports and they want the oil.
That's
And
right.
see, here's the crazy part. You got even more concentrated people in that area than we had in Iraq when I went.
40 million.
40 million people, and they're in the culture where everybody in that motherfucker is military trained.
Not only that, here's the difference between Russians and Ukrainians. Very few Russians can speak Ukrainian. The majority of Ukrainians, since they were children, have learned to speak fluent Russian. So they know how to communicate with them. They know, and plus they know how to interfere. Wait. They're not their people. They're their cousins. Understand, they are related. They're related. They are related. They're not one and the same. They were Ukrainians, Belarusians will let you know we're not the same as Russians. We are related to them.
It's pretty much. Is it very similar? Is it very similar to Eritrea and Ethiopia?
Yeah, we are related, but we're not the same. We can.
Right.
I mean, most of us we can speak Amharic, but they can't speak Tigrinya if worth a lick, unless they're ethnic Tigrayan.
Right, but what I'm saying is there are some generations because of the amount of political strife. You know what I'm saying? Like my partner from Zim, you know what I'm saying, Zimbabwe, man. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me about how it was when it was Rhodesia. His family, trust me, I understand the political intrigue. They had to leave because they was working with us, and they had to come here, and state took care of them. But I understand that. What I'm saying is this, my brother, is that is a people generationally. The reason the word coup exists is because of things like this. Before the shit go all the way left, especially with population density, that's a good point that y'all just brought up. When you looking at that, and that's your people, that means some of your cousins, you might not like the first and the second and third cousin, but you don't want them just exterminate, because when that artillery, when that arty, shit, they artillery division, when that arty get to rolling, the only thing that's gonna protect them, bro, I'm gonna be serious. We can talk about this political intrigue. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hardware. When that arty get rolling, the only thing gonna stop it is the damn anti-arty shit that we got over there, and maybe we put some destroyers to help that out to make the net right with the agents out there, and then we go ahead with the damn shit that we already moved in there with the anti-nuke and the anti-ballistic shit that we got in there. Stop that arty, because once that arty go, bro, it's gonna be like 40 million. Okay, that arty. Charles, tell them about artillery. Tell them about artillery.
You talk about the king of battle. Their artillery. So you gotta
don't know where death coming from.
You gotta love the fact of being black in America, because you could be second, third, or fourth cousins. That's still your cousin. You come into their eighth. Like, put it to you this way: For those who's not familiar with American lineage and Black
Mm.
America, if you fight one, you fight them all.
Mm.
Oh, wrong or right? Wrong or right?
Because I don't know if some people are friends of mine on Facebook and Instagram. The stuff I put about my Aunt Tricia, all the cousins were mourning, and all the cousins were happy because we know it wasn't violent. Because if somebody's in my family life would have been taken unjustifiably, you got about 2,000 strong that's coming for your ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And see, this is what happens when a lot of people out there don't understand. We got the mother truck up here, A.L. Evans. Woo! And
Woo! Where y'all been all my goddamn life? I digress.
the rudeness and the toughness. I gotta put that Yosemite Sam up there for you too. But it's like this. One thing I respect about a lot of people is that, look, certain people out there in the world, you're not gonna conquer them because they'll burn. Like, there's a reason why in Maryland they have a training facility called Masada.
Yep.
And there's a reason why your boy Officer Faulkner trained with Masada. And when I was talking to the Jewish Special Forces and the Secret Service who trained us, and I said, I could tell you about your shit and the reason why you got the name of it. Because when y'all on that hill, you said we would take us out before the Romans will. Tell me if I'm lying.
Yep. Nope, that was what it is. I remember watching about that.
Y'all probably surprised for a nigga who ain't finished his degree could tell you so much about so many different lands and history.
Right on.
That's because you're multifaceted, Charles.
Say that fucking shit again, please, with your chest out.
That's because you fucking multifaceted, Charles.
Exact fucking mundo.
Woo! And if I don't know,
what?
at least I go out there and try to know and try to learn and educate myself.
Exactly. Notice how the conversation flows, even though we might cut each other off, but nobody takes offense to it.
No,
it's no ego, bro. It's like, bro, you know what I mean? It's like it's almost, I even said it today to a friend of mine. I said, man, you know, it's like almost common sense and common decency has been eradicated. When it used to be so common, and now the fact that a person even can sit there and speak on some real stuff like what we doing, it's almost,
but
you know, it's almost rare.
It ain't been eradicated, fam. Everybody keeps ducking and dodging the elephant in the room, and I'm gonna keep hitting on it. I don't care. Roger said don't call them home wreckers. Okay, I'm gonna call them life wreckers. Your first teacher teaches you damn near everything you need to fucking know to get by. And these motherfuckers have been derelict of duty for damn near 5+ decades. And you wonder why this shit is out of whack. But I digress.
But guess what? Here's the answer to all that, Namer, AL, and Shattered. Is that we get women like Kareem and Toya who's willing to give us their daughters and their sons to educate. And even if we just have to educate them, they're going to pass on the knowledge to their children.
That's the most important part. The most important part, brother. The fact that the conversation needs to be had.
And see, I don't have to browbeat women over shit unless I have to, because when I went over to that one channel, and I had to tell them, I said, look, there's some L's that black men have to carry, and that's only ours. But there's some L's black women have to carry. But this is the part we're going to do. This is how we're going to team up and form up like fucking Voltron and be able to take over this shit. Because by the time I'm finished with my fucking business plan, not only are we going to do the security, not only are we going to do the military, not only are we going to do the fucking police and the fire, but we're going to deal with the number one thing that keeps this country afloat is the transportation.
Oh.
Oh man, that needs some serious overhaul. You know what?
Before you can deal with the transportation, nope, you need to deal with the infrastructure. So sooner or later,
Exactly.
we need to get together in numbers. Charles got a great idea, but sooner or later, we need to get together in numbers and go to all our state and legislative houses and say, look, if you don't start hiring as many black men as you hiring these Mexicans, because we know you hiring these Mexicans, white men. We know you hiring these migrants, because they're not immigrants, they migrants. As soon as you start, then this shit go change. But until then, you want to treat us like scum and like prison candidates, and guess what? We'll keep sitting on our hands, but guess what? Come election time, we'll keep wrecking havoc by not voting for none of you motherfuckers.
Yeah,
We'll
hey, look, hey, L, I'm gonna tell
Hold
you.
up, folks. Hold up, folks. I gotta salute AL for that one.
By the power of Grayskull.
By the way,
The
ladies and gentlemen,
power!
by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's how AL starts his 18 wheeler. By the way.
When I,
Hey, but he ain't lying though, bro.
but
Like,
real talk, yeah. I mean,
like,
sorry, Shadow, but real talk, you got to think about this and think about it hard. They rather put they rather put our tax dollars, our resources into prisons that are privately owned. We have more privately owned prisons than you have state prisons, but they say the money supposed to go to the state prison. No, they allot that shit right back out to the private prisons and outsource that work to the private prisons. No, fuck that. You keep refusing to put money into the education system, into work programs to teach these brothers how to get out there and find work. Because guess what? You don't want us to work. You want us to be discouraged in society. So you can have a fucking scapegoat where all this shit crumbles and say, it's the black man's fault. No, motherfucker, it's the white man's fault for putting up all these bullshit ass tropes and all these motherfucking policies and all these weak ass goddamn laws. That's whose fault it is.
And
But I digress.
by the way, Lady Kareem, if you're still in the chat, please get rid of that Russian bot, please. And see, here's the crazy part. A man who even has a felony on his record, if you give him a CDL, he can still become a productive male of society. Am I lying, AL?
He can get a CDL from the incarceration system, but I'm gonna be 100% factual, actual, bro. Let's not blow up this balloon and get these bros hope, because I had a cousin and several dudes down here in Texas that was in Texas Correctional Penitentiary System. They got their CDLs, but when they got out, couldn't get a job to save their life. But 2 out of the 3 committed suicide behind it. A lot of these companies give excuses that they don't want to hire until they get to the point of they 2, 3, 6 weeks out from bankruptcy, don't want to tell the regular employees nothing. Then you see where all these influx employees come from. You went and finally gave these dudes an opportunity, but then I've seen them where they send them to these trucking companies, and these trucking companies still don't retrain them like they're supposed to. Just let them out on the road without no training. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Man, hold on. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I got to get away from here. Y'all not going to be, I'm not going to be employed by y'all while y'all about to let this shit go on. And then if something happens, they go sue the whole company. And then the whole company gone.
Oh yeah,
so you got shit like that happens, bro.
You saw. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it just like that, just on what you said. Remember, they just had the damn case. Remember in Colorado when that boy overheated his stuff, and then
he ran that truck through there and killed everybody, and they tried to get that boy 100 years for that shit.
Hey, he survived. If you that shit burnt down the overpass. Killed all them people, and he survived, and they let him go. Now,
he survived because he was smart enough to get the fuck out the truck.
Yeah, that's smart, right?
And here's the crazy part, right? COVID showed us how important our truckers and transportation and those boats were to this country and around the world. Like you can't get supplies in if them trucks are stead dead, and those boats that bring in the shipment or bring out the shipment are dead. People starve.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, look, when that ship accidentally was in the Suez and just blocked
Quote
it
and
up
unquote.
accidentally,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly accidentally, you see how everything messed up. I had orders coming from China, and bro, it went from normally my orders from China take at least a month, you know what I'm saying, to come, maybe even 2 months. Man, that shit took 3 months because of that one ship accidentally, allegedly on purpose, just and then they did a whole GPS. If you look at the GPS, it drew a dick in the middle of the ocean. Excuse my French, but that's what it did. It drew a dick and some balls, and then it drove into the Suez Canal, and then it beached itself in the middle of the canal, and no traffic from either side can get through. It drove prices to the roof. I lost money. Supposed to be ordering, sending stuff to people. They couldn't move no shipping traffic through there. Imagine if there was a, if they were to do that. Let's say Russia was to take over Ukraine tomorrow, and then China says, all right, we're going to go ahead and attack Taiwan now because now they're going to deploy groups. You know, we're going to have to deploy groups. I don't want no American blood shed on that. Now, as far as what we doing with NATO, even if people ain't paying their money, like when Bernie Mac was the head of state. You remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Bernie Mac was the president. They said, what do you think about NATO? He said, NATO, hell, funny that Bernie Mac said this. He said, NATO owe me some money. My NATO Jones, he owe me some money. You know, they're like, nah, Bernie, we talking about NATO.
But
and it's
you know,
funny
but
that
you
NATO
know,
actually do owe us money because we've been paying their damn dues and they supposed to be making our GDP from they're not doing nothing. And you know what? We protecting you and we fighting wars for you. Man,
I
But
got
here's the
two.
good thing about that.
and it's
I got one
funny.
thing to say.
It's funny because when you say that, only a comedian could smooth that shit so smooth that a lot of people couldn't get what he was saying. Some of the
But
most
check,
intelligent
it's
people.
prophetic. No, Charles, it's prophetic. It's even worse because he's saying that as a joke. Then imagine if the man was alive now. The
throw that
memes.
motherfucking
The
car
memes.
there.
I'm gonna make a meme out of it now. The memes. He said
But
it. He said NATO
check,
Jones owe me some money.
check this shit out. I got 2 points to make. The first point is general, and the second point is gonna be more like a question towards Charles because I've been seeing this left and right, and this shit is fucking me up. The first point is, you know how Shadow was just talking about, you know, the ships being backed up on purpose, this, that, and the third and whatnot, and raising prices up. Yeah, that's a real bad thing that's going on. Remember, these regular stupid, goofy ass Americans ain't been paying attention like we have and not listening. But now that the shit's hitting the fan, what's going on? Look at here. The other day, I know it's starting to affect the world because the hood rats are crying. I can't get my weed. I can't get my weed. Okay, guess what, bitch? Go back and blame Cheeto and blame old Joe because they starting shit they can't fucking finish. Now, the second one is Charles. I don't know if you've been paying attention because I'm down here in Central Texas and I'm not full-time trucking over the road no more unless I just take a private contract here or there. But I run throughout the state and I do shit. But what I do notice is, you know, Fort Hood, Texas is in Killeen, Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I've been seeing for the past 5 years along our railroad tracks that you're not supposed to see. Who?
Oh, they cut them off, man.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. Hey,
Hello, they cut me off.
Yeah.
Y'all can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, 5x5.
I was trying to do some of my paperwork too and talk to you. Hey, who defends the United States of America? Land side. Charles.
United States military.
Okay. In all the years you've been living on this western side of the third rock from the sun, have you ever known you to ever see any form of military equipment that's got NATO written on it? All white vehicles with UN on it?
Not one.
Okay, homeboy, I'm here to tell you, and this is factual and
Not
accurate.
nowhere,
But
not
all
nowhere
right,
down here.
from 2009,
Allegedly.
2019 to present, all throughout Texas, you can see trains carrying NATO equipment, NATO trucks, NATO tanks, NATO everything on piggyback on trains crossing. What the fuck is NATO equipment doing in the United States of America? Somebody's got to answer that question.
Matter of fact, we did everything to keep NATO the fuck out of the country.
It could be. We do produce some of them vehicles. AL in Texas. I think it's one in outside of San Antonio, and there's one in West Texas where they actually produce like the MRAPs and a couple other military vehicles. And they could have sent them from the paint shop and then sent them down to Galveston or wherever they was gonna shoot them at the ship channel to send them out to the European allies. But usually they wouldn't paint them. And if they did paint them, they would usually cover them up in covered carriages.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have them free.
Yeah, I understand that. You would hide
Here's
that.
the biggest question. Here's the biggest question. Who's scared of NATO?
Good question.
Nobody.
They can't operate here.
But
we know that.
here's the question. What makes people afraid of NATO?
America.
The United States.
That pact with the United Nations and the United States. That's what that is.
Because we're the big brothers of NATO. Because when NATO goes to parts of Africa and Europe and Eastern Europe, we're the reason why they get scared. Because when they when the United States look up at NATO and motherfuckers about to buck at NATO, and we like, what it is though? That's when
NATO
shut
nation
shit down.
equals anti-nuke defense for us in Eastern Bloc and otherwise. Mm-hmm. That means we got anti-nuke bases. That means we can combat against nuclear attack. Everyone.
NATO.
You have to say it like George W.
NATO is the excuse for us to go over there and to fuck you up. It's like Downey, the quicker fuck you upper. And that's what it is. It's like, don't make me come out of my seat to come fuck you up. It's like that old granddaddy when he got that leather belt. Don't make me come out of my seat and fuck you up. And that's what it is. Back in the day when we had fathers in the home, wait till your daddy gets home. That's what NATO is when they talk about America.
Oh, yeah.
That's what NATO is when they talk about America. Don't wait till your daddy gets home. And that's
the only countries I can think of who've been inside NATO who've been really serious with their shit would be in fact, only two countries I can think of outside of NATO who are really serious about their military apparatus and whose military industry is just getting really big.
Well, you just look at the Axis powers. China, right? Iran, you got North Korea, but he's, it's basically China Junior. And then, you got a couple of clandestine terrorist organizations, and then you have others, intelligence agencies, that's all I can say, that have armies too. And then you have mercenaries.
You got PMCs as well. PMCs, let's not forget about them.
Yeah, and you got warlords. It depends on where you at. It depends on where you at in the jurisdictions. But
absolutely.
Yeah. You know who's in charge when you there. You know who not to fuck with. And you know whose name not to say too loudly as well. You see, so that comes with intelligence, and we got assets everywhere. The intelligence, they know what's going on. But see, that triple agent and that quadruple agent stuff is real. We even seen it with the Chinese spy. We literally had a Chinese spy on record sleeping with this dude in our State Department, sleeping with him with classified data. God knows what he did. Imagine, okay, you sleep with this, chick. She triple agent on. She steals some money out of your wallet. Well, you State Department, she got your password. she working for the Chinese secretly as a secret agent. She get in your phone. It ain't just you stealing your wallet. She's stealing secrets. You
What's
know
the
what I'm
old
saying?
what's the old commercial? What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet? See, I'm gonna tell you what. If I was a sitting president and I found the world's #1 terrorist in Pakistan, who's Pakistan's #1 enemy?
India.
I would have gave India so many fucking guns and fighter jets and fucking so many fucking air to ground fucking so many ballistics. I'd have told India, you know what? Them motherfuckers have been lying and they ain't say shit. You go in there and you atomize that motherfucker for me.
Let's not forget, Pakistan.
I know you
is,
don't eat. I would have told them, I know you don't eat beef because of religious reasons, but I'd have supplied them with more chicken than Colonel Sanders.
They don't eat meat in general. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, like what,
Hey,
like what's
the cow and the rat is their best friend. The cow and the rat are their best friends. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
true. I would have gave them. I would have gave them so much price and so many spices for that curry from old black grandmothers from down south.
You gotta have
Oh, I'd have told them, tear them a new asshole for me, please. Because if y'all had been lying a mile away from your fucking version of West Point, really, nigga? Really? I would have called them up and I said,
look. You know who brought that up, Charles? Funny you say that. Benazir Bhutto brought that up, and you know what happened to
Benazir
her?
Bhutto, she
You
got
know what happened
murked.
to her? They grenaded her. Cool. They grenaded her because her Secret Service allowed them. They rolled up on her literally and threw grenades and
You want to know
blowed her
why?
up. Right when she was saying Bin Laden had been working with the CIA and that he had been dead and that it was all a falsity when we allegedly
Throw him in the water.
allegedly, and she said it, and then they literally on CNN. They probably scrubbed it from the internet now, I'm sure, but they threw a grenade. It was on. I remember seeing it.
Oh, Shadow Game, you talking about when Barack Obama went up there? We have defeated ISIS. We have gotten Bin Laden. Threw him in the sea. Yeah, I'm sitting there side eye the TV like, yeah, motherfucker, they let you catch him on your watch. You, the puppet, all puppets. Shit, I ain't believing it. That glory was supposed to go to W. That glory was supposed to go to W.
Let me tell you why I believe they caught him on their watch. Because one, W and his family had too much business with the Bin Ladens. Who's the best friend of the Bushes?
Bandar Bush. Bandar Bush was that dude that Saudi.
Bandar. Wait, no. Bandar Bush is part of the royal family. He's part of the Saudi royal family, the House of Saud.
No. Who's the best friend of the Bushes? The Obamas.
The Bin Laden family. The Obamas.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he be
the Obamas.
Yeah, I saw him.
Because first of all, it was called unfinished. It was called unfinished business. The business deal between the Bushes went south with the Bin Ladens, and it was called wrapping up loose fucking ends.
Well, they did it. They did it to Saddam. So how
I mean, hey, I got a video of how that shit went when they found out the business went bad. Y'all want to see it?
Yep. So do.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
Dog, you so full of shit. I thought we would go see some real shit, goddamn it. You went straight to anything.
I mean, that's how it went. When they found out when that business deal went south, they fucking almighty their asses. And that's what the fuck happened. Because when you really come up there and you telling me the fucking #1 terrorist on the planet was a mile away from your fucking, ain't no fucking way.
Hey, but
No,
look,
Charles,
Bill,
Charles.
Bill
Let's
was
rewind,
childish,
Charles.
right?
Hold on, fellas. We have to rewind because people really not paying attention. Before W became president, who did he replace as president? Because this president served 2 terms, and under his presidency, the Twin
Bill
Towers had
Clinton.
got bombed the first time by Bin Laden.
You talking
Okay,
about
Bill
Clinton,
Clinton. Bill
Clinton and them
Clinton.
yeah,
boys.
so thank you.
He had him.
His family's entangled in this bullshit too. Let's not get this shit twisted.
Man,
Because if Bin Laden supposedly bombed us the first time and got away with it, why didn't we go after him then? Why did we let that shit sit and wait and act like didn't nothing
And you
happen?
know why he didn't.
we had
You
him in
know
a
why
field
he didn't go
hospital and
through
we
it.
let him go because
And
CIA.
I'm gonna answer AL's question very vividly. You know why we didn't go after him that first time?
Why?
Because
Why not?
too many motherfuckers in Congress were so worried about nut stains on fucking on old girl's dress.
Oh, yeah. They was worried about that bullshit, the dick sucking scare.
And look, that's the throw off though. Now you start to get to the bottom of how the agency works. Well, I'm saying, if that agency own you, man, they can break you, make you, or change the whole thing around, or take you at the same time.
Remember,
You ain't lying.
I always said this one thing. If they were worried about old girl's dress, right, so much that they wanted to impeach him, because we were going to go head first into a couple of countries. Notice what happened. When crack got so bad in America, we didn't go after Iran.
Jesse Jackson came through and he went over there, and got the hostages back. You remember that?
Because we were supposed to owe Iran from the hostages.
That's right. That was the deal, right?
We were supposed to go after their heads. But see, but guess who they sent instead of us? You don't know? Israel.
We always making that damn country a patsy for something.
Because remember remember when the Olympics and the 72 Olympics, guess who was sent to go take care of them? The Mossad.
Yeah, that's basically the Jewish CIA right there.
The Mossad took care of them motherfuckers. They found out where they were, and they took care of their asses real good.
To be honest, the OSS learned a lot of their stuff from Mossad. I ain't gonna lie. The OSS, and you know what I mean when OSS, that was before.
So OSS is the prelude to what?
The agency that we shall not ever say.
The OSS is part of the alphabet community, the CIA, the special operations, and the frogmen of the Green Berets, and also the SAS.
Yeah.
Well, the SAS, I think. Yeah, the SAS was in World War II.
DIA, you know what I'm saying?
DIA,
NRO. I mean,
and Interpol, and don't forget the comings of Interpol.
Yeah. Ooh.
and I said a lot of these fucking agencies. See, notice one thing we didn't still talk about is gynocracy, right?
And I every time we sit there and try to just say that, like, okay, because we ain't even. That's the only time I even hear when we questioning the fact that we haven't said it at all. Because it's not even about that. We talking real shit.
Exactly. Like you never heard me talk about who doesn't promote me. I just said, well, wait a minute. Y'all rather get these other cats talk about police issues and military science, but you never pick me up. I don't look for y'all to promote me because y'all not going to promote me because I'm not one of the buddies. I'm not a part of the old boy clique. Trust me, there's an old boy system in the black manosphere. Y'all just need to figure it out real quick. Just saying.
It's everywhere. And then, just like Naaman say, it's kin folks, there's cousins that don't fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? And what you said was probable what we saying because you got kin folk, we going to ride. and you gonna know because we're gonna ride. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, bro, what you're doing is positive, man. You know what I mean? And that's why I fuck with you, man. And everybody that ever I seen come up on this panel, you ain't never shouted them down. You ain't never, disrespected them. You know what I mean? And I think you
Uh,
keep it quite professional. You know what I'm saying? When you do discourse back and forth with people and give a person, even with a dissenting view, a chance to come up and make their play and not shout them down.
That's even with Grandmaster Troll. Notice he cut that shit out.
Especially with that one. That was a case study, and that was right there.
That should be a case study how to deal with trolls. And notice how he cut a lot of his shit down significantly. Like I told
Definitely
you,
haven't heard nothing else after that. I haven't heard nothing on that level. And I think he even said he was gonna stop doing it. I think he made that affirmation on the stream live.
and
After we basically Columbo'd and Miami Vice the hell out of him.
I'm like, look, it's crazy how the guy who debunked Grandmaster Troll, Cynthia G, and went around this fucking manosphere all around the world and back again. I don't get when you heard fellas talking about y'all don't promote, the brain trust. That's a lie because the brain trust was always promoted in the sphere. You were bragged about. Now, once people start viewing you and you start fucking rubbing people the wrong way, that's not anybody who promoted you. That's you. I promoted Mr. Z with his content and gave him 30 to an hour to interview one-on-one. Now, unlike a lot of people, Mr. Z, passed for flying colors. And if we can't get to the bottom of a lot of shit, see, you got to understand something. Have you ever noticed that a lot of female subscribers always come back to my channel, come to my comments? I don't get the negative shit that I used to get anymore. Not even close. Right now, we just did a fucking history, military science, and all kinds of science channel just in this fucking 3 hours alone. Close to 3 hours.
Indigestible by the average person that's just picking up. If you picked it up from the first part of the stream, the middle, toward the end, it's something, it's not like the negative vibes is not here. So if that's what you're looking for, and that's what I guess nowadays, Charles, what passes for content, right? That's what it is. Entertainment is one thing, and that's what Bernie Mac says: show business and show business. It's show business, and then there's show business.
And guess what? I'm not afraid of chicks trying to uppercut me and shit. Sorry.
Boom.
Don't do it, man.
I'm not afraid of trying to uppercut them, and I'm uppercutting them. And no, I tell you, I said, look. At the end of the day, you gotta look at something. Notice I didn't even ask for donations today. If people do it, that's on your own strength. Now, if I do one later today, okay, niggas gonna have to fork up a little bit of cash, but I don't worry about it.
No man in the morning.
But here's the crazy part: you literally got 4 guys, 4 different walks of life, giving you all the history that you need to know. When it came for warfare for the last, 40, 50, actually, we went even deeper than that, 100 years.
5,000 years. Namer took us back to 5,000 years.
5,000 years.
Yeah.
How many channels can take you back to 5,000 years with accuracy? Hell, no, matter of fact, we went deeper than that because we talked about the pyramids. 20,000?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Shattered, what I wanted to mention, regarding Pakistan, I understand their intelligence agency is nothing to fuck with. ISI, not even the government has them under control. They're like an independent. They're like a state within a state at times.
You talking about in Pakistan, ISI?
ISI, Pakistan's intelligence
Yeah,
agency.
no, yeah, they get down, man. Like I say, Mossad, ISI, and our agencies.
CIA.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying. And they,
Oh,
yeah,
and
they get
MI6.
down.
MI6.
Yeah,
Oh,
MI6 and MI5.
MI5. But I always would say, what's MI6? Is MI6 international or is MI5 inter-European, or
I
is the
think
That's the
overall
MI5
question.
might.
MI5? But
MI5 might be the closest. MI5 might be like England European or Western European or Eastern. But MI6 is gonna come for your ass no matter where you are.
yeah. That's what I was figuring, something on that level, because they shit is steeped in secrecy. I like how they actually do their shit. The English, although they're dirty as hell, but their subterfuge
No,
is nice.
they're
You can learn something from the dirty
their
bastards.
sub their
Yeah, you should
subterfuge
be
is
the French
very
Secret Service.
reasonable.
They don't fuck around.
Their subterfuge
And
is
the
very
reason that nobody
reasonable.
hears about them is because they keep it under wraps.
And here's the crazy part. There's a reason why Homeboy wrote about James Bond. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I like
Yeah,
the Daniel Craig's version of James Bond because he's the closest to the books.
Sean Connery, man, and Daniel Craig probably the two best, man. I ain't gonna
Like
lie.
Sean Connery and Daniel Craig are the closest to the books because when they said a license to kill, yeah, that's what he was out there for. He was gonna find out who was a part of this terrorist regime, and they're gonna kill you. We're not gonna hear about you anymore. We're gonna put somebody in charge of your outfit, and they said, okay, you come back and you bring this shit to our anywhere of our fucking nation or our commonwealth, we're gonna kill you without
License
question.
to Kill.
And a lot of people don't even understand that shit because we're still worried about the gynocracy. The guy, see, it's nothing wrong with talking about the gynocracy. There's something wrong when the gynocracy is just all you talk about.
It becomes a
Woo!
fixation and an obsession.
And see, when you rise above the bullshit and the hate, you rise above the gynocracy because guess what? You got to sit down with the gynocracy and be like, look, y'all been in charge of 40, 50, 60 years. What have you produced? You produced nothing but
Bullshit.
chaos and failure. Bullshit, even. But if I come with a plan that says I can bring you out of fucking stupidity and suffrage, there's going to be women who says, I'll take you on.
And then that's when you have to ask that old question that Cicero asked back in Rome. Cui bono? Cui bono? Translation. Who benefits or for whom's benefit is this?
And you got to realize something. If you're willing, because one thing I challenge a lot of women out there, are you willing to let your son sit by the wayside? Or are you going to be willing to let somebody teach them how to become great?
Yeah, that's the question right there.
Because because when you really look at this shit, when you really digest this shit, the men said, you know what? We got organizations. We'll build the schools. Are you going to send the boys there? Because right now you're desperate measures.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it definitely is. And like you say, man, and like AL was saying, like some of this stuff, like, you know, accidentally on purpose, they be happening accidentally on purpose. You feel me? It just should be red flags upon everyone. And you've
Mm-hmm.
definitely seen it, you know, where stuff is getting more drastic in certain, you know, exponential ways. You know, we can see the tide turning in not necessarily the best way. And when shortages and things like this happen with truckers, you know what I'm saying, barricading the whole country basically because of protests, You know, when them truckers stop that, you see them folks, shipments not getting in there. They got to go through different roads now. A lot of people ain't even doing they on strike. That's like a union thing. It's striking. So now you get a couple of them strikes going, okay, stuff gonna start changing up. See,
Yeah. And what
because see,
happens is
they got some hard over there. See, we here. Sadly enough, I'm gonna say, you know, the prevailing wind is enough now to move the average walking dead sheep in our population, especially more so in ours. It's just so easy for a lie to be, and the lie is like, it's like only limited times the lie will be able to be used, but we will run on it. I seen a bill. Now I just seen this. Y'all probably we were saying it earlier about what they're gonna do now. So I mean, I don't know who's in charge up there. I think Donald Duck is in charge of the shit up there. I don't know who's in charge of it now. It scares me. I don't know if this nigga gonna drop dead. I don't know what's going on up there. He can't say words. Oh my God. At least Trump could finish a tweet. But even if it was me. But man, look, I don't know what's going on up there. I don't know. They just said now, did you just hear about the new reparations bill that Sheila Jackson Lee, bless her soul, that's my congresswoman, dare I say, and she's just put the reparations bill to the floor, said must be voted on before midterms. Did you see that?
I didn't see that yet.
Oh yeah, it's been that must be new on the list, see, because I just saw it, and she's my hometown congressperson. But yeah, she put it out there now. They say that must be voted on reparations. Now, if she's serious, I don't know. Is this just another thing to try to, they see that it's unpopular, a lot of stuff they're gonna try to sway black folks back again, galvanize the gynocracy and get the rest of the well-meaners to do what they know that it's probably against their actual what they should be doing.
What's gonna happen is that if black men were smart, they hold their vote like they're nuts. And
That's
and,
what I
and
was.
it's gonna be
I don't
and it's
trust none of that shit. That shit is like they going down. It's like, bro, it's just going down, bro. It just really is. Like I don't
it's
put
like I said this for over a year. White people gave you the keys to the kingdom. If black men don't get into these professions where they're needed, like transportation, trucking, which is trucking, logistics, if they don't get into public safety, which is fire, police, EMT, paramedic, uh, and other shit, if they don't get into STEM, you don't want to win.
Yeah, you got to at this point. I mean, that's where it's at, man. It's like everything is STEM at this point. If you just look at the progression where we've been in, just from the times of 1996 to now. Look at the progression. Just from when Snoop Dogg made gin and juice back in them days to now. They just did the Super Bowl, which was a great show. I love that whole show. It was great.
Oh yeah.
One of the best ones I ever seen. I ain't gonna lie. I lost faith in some Super Bowl shows, but that show was great. And you look now at the technology that we got now. When we heard Gin and Juice, we never knew that Dr. Dre was gonna be with Apple having whole beats as a brand, selling it for $500 million.
Wow, no, he sold it for over 2.5 billion.
But he didn't get all of that. He got but a half a billion.
No, he got a billion.
Apple looked it up.
He got a billion. He got a clean billion off of that.
Yeah, but one saying like at this point, that's why I was explaining. I think I told Chaos the other day. After you get to about 50 or 100 million, aren't we just counting numbers in the bank, Joe?
Well,
because
when you get the
goddamn,
billion status, you got to remember, people don't understand how powerful a billion is, right? A
that's
billion,
some serious money.
you have more GDP than some countries on the planet. Okay? Rihanna's little thought ass is running around with what? 1.5 billion? She's literally got more money worth in her than some countries on the planet. Okay? You know, this chick, and people like her, and it's funny how I can't even get the words to say this shit. It's funny how she is in the same league as Robert F. Smith. Ain't that a bitch?
How so?
Huh?
How so?
They're billionaires.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
so
and
like
it's
that
funny,
billion, like when you get that billion like that, like for Bezos, like you look at a and see that ain't even that's just net and gross and shit like that. And what you got, you ain't even talking about what they really worth because you know once your business is separate from your actual thing. You know
well,
that's
you got to
different.
think about it. Their
Count.
name is not even included in their billion, so that's even more.
Right. Just even on Amazon. Think about it. Amazon is the second most used search engine in the world.
Think about this. I want you to think about this. To simplify this for a billion is 1,000 million.
1,000 million. Not 10, not 100. Add extra zero.
Think about it. There's countries in Africa and Eastern Europe that are not worth $1 billion nationally.
Man, if you look at Russia's GDP, if you just look at Russia's GDP, just look at it. Versus some people, you put about 2 or 3 oligarchs together in America with the right equation and the privilege. You could get Russia and about 5 or 10 oligarchs here.
Think about
they
it.
hold GDP.
That's another reason why I said Russia's not going to invade because look at their fucking economy is held by a matchstick house.
It's ridiculous. The money, the way that they do their money, I don't know how they're doing it.
Because
it's like ungodly GDP.
It's like a friend of mine, one of my army buddies. He said when you try to do business in fucking places like Nigeria, Ghana, and other places like that, everybody's trying to run game one. And you see why these countries are fucking broke. Because everybody's trying to run game. Instead of actually letting the business flow where everybody can make money, they trying to fuck you. And they end up fucking themselves, and then the fucking bourgeoisie of your country take the money and run out the goddamn country.
That's exactly what they do.
And it's sad because when we get to these places as, you know, multifaceted men, and we get to these places to actually realize, like, yo, you motherfuckers are doing fucking bad for yourselves. You try to condemn Black Americans, but yet Black Americans never left their country of origin. And in totality, until Black Americans realize that, guess what? Number one, you're the only Americans that hasn't ran from your country.
Black people are the most patriotic people on the face of America.
I like to quote Mr. Z, we're the most American Americans.
Exactly. I mean, we've been here. We haven't went anywhere else and colonized significantly as expats.
Yeah,
and
because if you think about it, man, Black Americans are the ninth richest people in the world. If we actually, if a fucking percentage of us go anywhere in the world, we just quadruple or fucking made your GDP grow 100 times what it's worth, just for us being there.
Yeah.
And that's the
That
silliness
way.
of
That
it.
way.
That's the silliness of it. So when you look at this shit and its totality, you're like, wait a minute. Why are you always so upset when we come to your country? We look at you as brothers and sisters, but that's the reason why you found out when you go through the history books, Pan Africanism started in America, not in Africa. I wonder why. Jeez.
Because some brothers wanted to go back in Liberia, you know what I'm saying, and all these Ghana, you know what I'm saying, countries that did say, come back, we got somewhere for you. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck it all, like they tribe and shit, you know, lost.
Yeah. You really think that, I'm going to say this, you really think that China could get a stronghold if Africa would have said, come back home to your ancestral land?
Hell no.
So there lies the problem right there.
Man, did you see that one miner? They was strip mining in Africa, and the Chinese overseer, I would call him that, in the all the way of the fun of Django. Okay, he come out like he was, you know, Mr. Candy. Oh, you niggas, get to work. And he pulled out his skin like he finna slap this African man. And African man was the project manager. He was in charge of all the native brothers that was working for the Chinese conglomerate. And he was like, they fucking general, basically. And then the Chinese man come and basically slap him and spit on him. Basically. At the work site. The black man had the clipboard in his hand. And he dropped the clipboard and he just went in on this Chinese man and was beating the hell out of him. And they had to come and grab him. African brothers came and grabbed him. Safety men, like the safety men, and then some of the Chinese corporate tenders drug him back. And he was like, I want him killed. He's done. You know, like he was saying in Chinese, they had transcribed this on the video. They may have scrubbed it from YouTube at this point.
So I bet you one thing the Chinese people said, if we kill him, you got a whole country after your ass.
They were scared. They went into that trailer, Charles. Them African brothers ran them Chinese boys into that trailer, and they was calling for backup to get airlifted up out of there.
And see, here's the crazy part. Them people are gonna pay a very heavy toll disrespecting black men. And like I said, you know, thank God for guys like Namer who are from the fucking motherland, who doesn't come with any angst or any arrogance. If we had 1,000 or 100,000 Namers, we would be able to have true Pan-Africanism. That's the shamefulness of it. You would have like guys who would actually want to be your brothers, who would say, guess what? The only difference between you and I is that just the pot of land that you were born on. That's it.
And that's true, bro. And to be honest, the brothers that I my partner from Zimbabwe, he came over here. He was American as you get, but he was in Zimbabwe, but he would love America. You know what I'm saying? And he was not against ADOS. He was like, cool. And I know some Nigerian brothers put me on money. Now it's some dirty ones who was like on some craziness that don't fuck with outsiders and like you American, you can't go to certain places if you don't know them like that. They don't fuck with you. You feel me? And they're serious. You know, they're not playing. They will get you. Them Nigerians deadly. You feel me? Out here. I don't know
Funny
what you
see, you ever notice how strategically they always kept the Africans and the African Americans apart? Because they knew. America knew if you would have put service members over there in Africa building bases and infrastructure, America would have been a fucking power for over 1,000, 10,000 years.
But look, what did Africa?
And see, here's the problem with African. You keep giving a man straps, and your enemy gives them actually gold bonds. Still the same bullshit, but at least give them gold bonds for infrastructure. Who the fuck your enemy's gonna go to? And that's the foolishness and the hubris of the Western powers.
We should never let Gaddafi get took out. First of all, he was.
And I'm gonna tell you what, that was a failure of Africa because they all turned their back on Gaddafi. Gaddafi was gonna bankrupt the West with his ideas, and that's the reason why. That's why I keep telling you, a lot of strategies. Not every strategy needs to be told in the out front.
Yeah, and then he was coming on the well, bringing the war to the desert. Okay, and then he had the oil. He wasn't going to do it in petrodollar. He said he was going to try to do it in Africa or whatever. And
yeah, he was going to do it in gold. Right after that. Even though Great Britain has 4 times the gold, Libya had fucking a fourth of the fucking population. Guess who's going to go out of gold first?
And then he was giving out everything. Like if your family was a citizen, you could get like 20, 30 acres of land. You was a farmer. You get free school. And then imagine we can say this as Americans. Right? We got all the he could drive down the street. For all people say he's so and get out the car and kiss people, their babies. And they never tried
it. Because it was a bunch of insurgents who killed him, not his people.
Paid.
It was paid assassins who killed him. No, actually, you got to think about it.
Streets, and it pissed me off because after that, don't you know all the brown skin people after the insurgents took over, the people that was kin to him, they exterminated them and had them as slaves because they was black.
Here's the crazy part, right? Gaddafi was probably the most progressive motherfucker on Africa and probably the eastern part of the world. His fucking imperial guard was like women. Women had high positions in his fucking military. And it's like, and it's funny because from what I heard from stories on AFRICOM, when shit got bad, in Africa, when you don't agree, they go throwing them hands, and they said them hands are rated E for everybody. They said them women held their own. But these are other African countries said don't mess with that female guard of Gaddafi. They will fuck you up.
Yeah, I think he even had female fighter pilots and shit.
Yeah, he was very progressive. Very progressive.
He had a whole like Secret Service females?
Like damn near. And they were very progressive where women were able to get education, read. But yet, none of these black feminists ever promoted Gaddafi.
Not one.
You Morgan.
Okay, let me back up.
But yet, you got this progressive head of state, more progressive than the United States, in my opinion, who actually gave women a chance to earn their stripes. But you didn't hear one black feminist ever fucking ring out the name Gaddafi, did you?
Man, they drug that man's body through the street on CNN, and it was like it was a good thing. And I was like, that no,
That's
no.
disgusting. It's just like
He just left from the UN and shook Obama's hand. He just shook
and it's crazy because it's like it's no difference than what happened in Venezuela. What was the name, Chavez or
Hugo Chavez.
Hugo Chavez? What did he say? He says, "I don't care what y'all think. I know where I come from. I'm black. We from Africa." As soon as you say that, that's when the fucking death mark is on you. Have you noticed there's certain words that all of our black leaders said that marked them for death? But wait a minute, we're not talking about gynocracy now.
No, we still ain't talking about it, dog. I haven't heard one part of it yet.
But notice, not one motherfucker who was from either the so-called black manosphere, the so-called hoteps, or the so-called black feminists ever ring the name of Gaddafi like that, with the exception of Cerulean Gray and BGS, an angry man. That's the only motherfuckers who say it.
And Tupac, you would have listened to it. He was really saying, because he do it before we even do it. And the fact that they killed the man in the future was only prophetic at best.
And it gives even more validity what the fuck I was saying.
Bro, like I say, he was bringing the water to the Sahara, basically desert. He's gonna bring the water. Use the oil money, not buy the dollar, sell it in the African currency. Create the African Union currency. And then sell it as that, and then use that money to drill the water wells to the desert.
But they never showed when Gaddafi built a dam and brought water to his country.
It don't. Know what I'm saying?
They don't say shit about that.
Could Joe Biden just drive down the street, get out of the limo, okay, and just be sitting on top of it, plugging children randomly with very minimal Secret Service. No. That whole area is gonna be coordinated. You can't even drive down a freeway.
There's only two motherfuckers I've been known in my life who needed minimal, if no security: Gaddafi and Frankie Beverly.
Woo!
And it's a damn shame that we allow people who are diametrically opposed to us to tell us the fucking truth about history. Oh, Gaddafi was the enemy. Really? So you're telling me the guy you're going to tell me the guy who was more progressive than you, the guy who actually brought water to the desert, the guy who actually brought infrastructure to the desert was the enemy. And the guy who was trying to bring Africa together is the enemy.
And sell the oil to destabilize the market and then make all the money and not buy it in petrodollars and African dollars. Well,
but you know what?
African dollars to buy it, be the African petrol instead of the dollar petrol. That's what he's going to do.
But you know
that's
what?
That's the market for death right there.
But you know what? Niggas still want to be on this Pookie and Ray shit, but I gotta make the people who want to spend money feel good. Gynocracy. Oh, you boying. Must be in a bad area. But see, this is the fucking shit that we get at. We get all these Negroids who still want to look at the low hanging fruit, the lowest on the totem pole, and argue this shit. Argue this shit every fucking day. I don't
It's
give
because
a
it's
damn.
too easy. It's too easy.
Give me your Pookies, give me your Ray Rays, give me your educated, give me your multifaceted, and watch me build a nation.
I'm telling you, bro.
At this point, I feel as though this year I'm gonna have to show niggas how it's done. I wish like hell with my almost 2,500 subscribers that I could get all 2,500 fucking viewing at the same time. See, this is the shit that I gotta shit upon the black manosphere. All these goddamn subscribers.
What I tell people, just like when I hear the Ray arguments and shit, right, on other spaces. You know what I say, y'all? You remember when back I tell people they say the term nigger rigging. You ever heard that term?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I did the research on the term. That was back in World War II when the brothers who were fixing in the motor pool and in the different logistics in the army. A lot of times we couldn't find on the front, but we was there. We was always there. We were fixed units and did not have resupply with other things, or we would hotwire or otherwise engineer it where it would work. Okay. And then when white people would get it, the officers and the people would go NCOs go out there and fire whatever you they say, oh, it's nigger rig. It was broken. We didn't get the quartermaster didn't get it now. How's it fixed? Oh, because a nigger rig. In a disparaging way.
Yeah,
now what do we have?
It probably worked better than anything else they could repair.
It works better. Bypass the problem.
Anytime fucking black Americans who didn't know a lick of fucking German can manually operate German tanks and use them against them.
You know what I call it? I say, anybody say nigger rigging to me? I say, don't ever say it again. That's called Afro engineering.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the word nigger rig. Brothers died fixing trucks, and that's all we could do sometimes.
Yeah.
Still be on the fire. Never be put on the front. We had to fight to get our units in properly. And get our medals and our shit. Because we was already in the shit. When you gotta go pull a truck, you imagine Ardennes forest with this shit flooded. They was flooding that shit. Busting the dams open. Now you gotta go out there and it's fucking cold as hell. You gotta retrieve a truck that's been mined. That's sort of flat. And you gotta drag it out of the forest. Who did they give that job to? Black men. And we got them out of there. We shot up and all. We resupply and they called it nigger rig. But really it was Asymmetrical. And without those trucks fixed, and without those men that we further on. Look, just in that same war, we went from they didn't want to let us be mechanics until we was Tuskegee Airmen, and we didn't lose a damn bomb in the action. Come on now. Black excellence. It's Black History Month. Get your history up.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
same war, Charles. Same war.
Yeah.
I see boys.
Must be the argument. I'm about to shut down real quick, and we about to start up later today. So make sure everybody's tuning in. May not have asked for donations there, but later on, Get your donations up, man. Support your interests. Do you want content where we don't always have to talk about the gynocracy? Do you want the betterment of black men, children, women, and yourselves? Look, I'm not saying I'm the biggest channel, but god damn it, support, click, like. It's gonna be up to you. Do you think young black men need to hear this story? Hear the experiences of others who've been on this panel in the chat? You're gonna have to do it. Be as bold as a lion. Woo! And we out.